that's one to start on. But welcome to the stream.
Okay, and now I'm ready, yeah.
And we just started.
Oh yay! We
Yay.
did it! And yeah. Still zero idea on what to draw.
What?
Okay, maybe not zero idea. I
mean,
think I had an
okay.
idea, I just forgot what it was.
It's okay. You can try and
Yeah, I
jog your
have
memory.
like 3 hours to think about it.
Yeah. What
Oh,
could
no,
it have
what's I-
been? What do you think?
I have no idea. All I know is that it's someone else's character.
Oh, was it Cece's character?
I think it was Clem's character.
One of Clem's characters. Okay. Clem only has a small handful, so
Yeah, that's true. Let me go and check it out real quick. Okay, never mind. I'm like intimidated by the complexity again. You always go for something simpler.
true. There's always simpler out there.
Yep.
So it was 3 art streams ago, I think, whenever Fast went through all the FNAF lore, and then I joked about going through all the Kingdom Hearts lore. So that's the plan whenever Fast gets here. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to prepare
Kingdom.
it with some doodles of some of the characters.
Oh damn. I mean the FNAF lore was already on another spectrum. The Kingdom Hearts lore would be something else entirely.
Pretty much. It gets crazy. Because the thing with Kingdom Hearts is every game in the series is canon. Even ones that don't seem like they should be. The most recent Kingdom Hearts game, which was a rhythm game. Yes, that's canon. That is canon in the story and has lore in the story. It alludes to Kingdom Hearts 4.
Oh damn.
just about everything in the KH series has some significance. Minus
Okay,
like
and
the Disney worlds.
yeah.
The biggest part of the
What?
game,
Oh my
yeah, the biggest part of the games really don't have much significance. They're really only there just as to have, characters from Disney properties and to give you more stuff and to make the gameplay longer. The overall arching story of Kingdom Hearts really doesn't intertwine and connect with the Disney worlds as much as one may think.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think like, cause I barely ever like watched Kingdom Hearts videos. Only when it just so happens to come up on my recommended, and I have like nothing else to watch. So what the main characters are? There's this kid, right?
Mhm.
And then like Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's yeah, they're like the main characters, I guess you would say. There's also Riku and Kairi, who are also really important to the story.
Oh, I see.
The thing with
And
the
they
Kingdom Hearts is that there's
Yeah.
a lot of tri characters, like Sora, Donald, and Goofy are of course like the main 3 in the main games. Sora, Riku, and Kairi are like childhood friends, and they're main characters throughout the entire series. There's Roxas, Axel, and Xion, who are the protagonists of their own game. There's Aqua, Ventus, and Terra, who are and they're protagonists of their own game. And I think that's it. I think it's only those 4 groups. Technically, if you want, you could say Mickey, Donald, and Goofy, but they almost never really get much. They don't get much screen time together.
You know when like how would I describe it? You know when you run one of those like really RAM intensive programs like a video editor and then your computer starts making like heavy fan noises?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my brain right now after you explained to me on like the 20 different main characters from different series. Oh my god.
There's different. There's 12 games, and all of them have significance
Connect
in the story.
with each other.
Mostly, yeah. Some of them more than others. Like there's Kingdom Hearts Coded, which out of all the games has the least amount of impact on the entire overarching story. I'll get to it when I get to it. It's also rumored
If
that
I can even process it all, yeah.
it's also rumored that I think, what is his full name? Everyone calls him Nomura. What's his full name? Tetsuya Nomura. It was rumored that whenever Tetsuya Nomura was thinking of Kingdom Hearts Coded, he was drunk.
Well, judging from everything you've told me right now, I would not be surprised.
The man is probably drunk for most of Kingdom Hearts, but yes, we'll get to it when we get there.
Yep, but you know, yeah, he may be drunk, but apparently people like it, so you
That's
know,
true.
it's must be I have no idea.
Mans is a genius and a crazy person at the same time.
And that's why people love him.
Hell yeah. Do you know if you could do any Deep Rock Galactic doodles?
Man, wait, let me think. I never actually considered that. The only thing I can think of is like drawing moments with donuts, cause we did have some funny moments together.
That'd be sweet. Very sweet.
Yeah, but I feel like they can only be illustrated in comics rather than, you know, simple doodles.
Do you know if you could do it?
Possibly. Maybe not a comic here, but I think there are some moments where they can be illustrated in like one panel, so you know I can do those.
Okay.
Yep. But first, I need to do something. Although I need to like actually like cut down on DRG just for a short while because I got the art trade from Cinemonka, and I was just like, okay, yeah, I'll draw it. But back then, when I said I would draw it, that was when I wasn't playing Deep Rock Galactic, and but then Donna was just like, hey, you should play with me, and I'm like, okay, sure. And then guess what?
Your brain went, oh, fun game. Looks like I'm gonna be playing this the rest of the month.
Yeah. I feel bad, but at the same time, I think she kind of understands. But still, you know, it's not really nice, you know, because I did say I was good. I wanted to do the art trade, which I still do. It's just that I'm so distracted by this one game.
It happens. It's okay. It's all okay. It's Saul Goodman.
It's Saul Goodman. Better call Saul Goodman.
Better call Saul Goodman. Better call him. Just like the Ghostbusters.
They keep saying better call, but then they don't give me the phone number. Like, what the hell?
Because you already know the phone number.
Do I?
No. You gotta
Can you
look it
imagine if every phone in their universe is like all our phones have this like numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and all that, but in their universe there'll be every phone is manufactured to have like the Ghostbusters button or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, they're like so influential in their universe that every phone must come equipped with that. Kind of like the Windows key, you know.
Mm-hmm.
God, what am I even saying?
It's just sometimes your brain just babbles on. Do you know, like, do you have that ability where your brain can just keep on going and going and going? It doesn't really have to think about anything. You can just keep on talking and talking and talking. You can talk about anything, really. You can talk about Godzilla. You can talk about the octopus in the sea. You can talk about Great Nessie that's also in the sea. You can talk about the aliens that are in the sky. Possibly they're in the sky. We don't know. Maybe they'll send us something eventually. You can talk about all your favorite stuff, like Pokemon, like Nintendo, like Xbox, like Sony. You can talk about all these different things, and you can just keep on going. Your brain doesn't really have to like process anything that you're really saying. Goldu's saying that he wants me to draw a swan. I don't know about that. Maybe I will. Who knows? But you can just like keep on going, and it's like you don't even need to like really think about anything that you're doing. You just keep on going and going and going and going and going and going. Do you think you can do that?
I could, and that's why like most of the time when I'm having a conversation, I try to like I'm like so self-aware that if I know I'm blabbering too long, then sometimes I just abruptly stop. Then the other person's just like, go on, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I think I spoke too much.
Aww. Jay's
But
also
I did have oh yeah, hi Jay and hi Go dude. I did have a friend back in Realm of the Mad God, a guildmate. It was the same thing. It was strange because he would talk about topic A, like maybe he will be like, "What's your favorite food?" for example, and then after you answer him, he immediately jumps to like, what do you think about Donald Trump? And I'm just like,
What?
what? Yeah, he would do that very often. So just jump from like one topic to another super unrelated topic. And I'm just like, okay, so what did this have to do with the food thing? And he's just like, oh, no, I'm just asking a new question. I'm like, okay then.
Thanks, dude.
Yep.
And Sora's design. It's just, there's so much.
I like it so far though.
Thank you.
Doing pretty well.
He wears like this. Okay, like if you took off everything they had on, he just wears this like weird red jumpsuit that goes from his torso
hold
to
on,
his
I need to
knees. And then
need
he
to
has
see,
a
like,
blue
a
belt
s-
on. He has like a bracelet that goes around his left leg, or no, not a bracelet, but it's like just like a chain that goes around like his left thigh, more like. The red thing is also a zipper, has a big zipper on the front, and also goes underneath. He wears a necklace with a crown on it. He has a jacket that also has a hoodie. He wears gloves, and he has big ass yellow shoes. His hair is really
How the
spiky.
hell? Yeah, I'm looking at like an image of him. At least I think it's the same.
His KH1 design.
It's the
Yeah.
outfit you're describing. Yeah, and I'm just thinking to myself, how is he supposed to use the bathroom properly?
Yeah, that is a good question. I'm assuming he takes off the
Does-
belt
does
and
he-
then he zips down the red jumpsuit. 3D model.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
that reminds me of like the whole dress thing. Because there's some like dress clothing where if you wanted to go toilet, you have to actually remove the entire dress, so you're
Yeah.
just like naked on the toilet bowl. Yeah, this is exactly what I think about like Sora's outfit here.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's very, very weird, but whatever, Nomura.
Yeah. Oh well. As what like people like to say online, it's just fiction. You don't have to think about it. So
Yeah.
you know, okay, sure.
At least it's better than his beta design where he was a lion.
Wait, hold on. Sora, what? Do I search beta or
Yeah,
lion?
Soda beta design.
Okay, I see like
Mhm.
one image. Wait, hold on.
Soda beta.
I'm not seeing a lot of beta design. Most of the beta designs seem to still
Yeah.
depict him as like the human.
Yeah, kind of,
Oh
but
wait, no,
like,
no, no.
yeah, he has like a
He's
lion
got the tail.
tail and like big ears. Yeah, that's what they were thinking he would be at the start, and his keyblade was like a chain almost. But they decided against it because they wanted Sora to be more relatable to players, so they made him a little kid and not a lion kid.
More relatable.
Yeah, so they made him just a
But he,
normal human instead of a lion.
he's more relatable because he's a human, but he adventures out with a talking mouse, dog, and duck.
Yes,
What?
you are correct.
What?
Like, I don't make the rules. Weak.
True,
Jay
but
says. Nomura was weak. We should have gotten Lion Sora.
I'm sure some people still prefer Lion Sora
Probably they do.
design-wise.
There is a mod for KH1 on PC to have his beta design. So for those
Wouldn't
that
be
want
surprised.
that, yeah. A lot of characters get ruined for the sake of relatability. Who else would you say, Golden?
Well, I'm not sure about. Oh wait. I think I know what Jay's talking about. It's like the whole diversification thing. Like you know, instead of having like a group of 4 adventurers, because of how society's wired now, each of the 4 adventurers has to represent something. Oh, one person's gay, the other one's a lesbian, etc.
I don't know. Maybe?
But well,
okay.
never mind. Jay mentioned about like the whole making a character human in order for them to be relatable thing. It's kind of the same thing. I am not too sure.
Hmm. Jay says, in my humble opinion, if you need to make a character human in order for them to be relatable, that's just kind of lame. Maybe, I guess, because you can give human traits to non-human characters, but this was also back in 2004, so different time.
Yeah, I don't think they I don't think they foresaw this uh debacle.
Yeah. Talking about forced representation. Okay, so Goldwood was saying that he's not talking about like forced representation, talking about how bland personalities are for the sake of making a person relatable.
Oh, okay, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I didn't think
that's
he was
true.
meaning like, oh, we need to have all these different types of like genders and sexualities now, which I mean, I don't think we do. Like, none of my characters are really super diverse, and that's fine. They don't have to be.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just,
Unfortunately, the internet's the internet, and they think you are wrong.
yeah, yeah. Many non-human characters are plenty relatable because of their struggles or stories, and we're able to emphasize and relate regardless. That is very true.
Oh, you mean like Zootopia? Let's go.
Sure, you could use Zootopia, I guess.
Yeah, good old Zootopia.
To make a
To make a
character...
character follow these steps.
Yeah, go ahead.
Make them have a personality.
That's
That's it. Well, I'm sure there's more to it, but yeah, that's a good point.
An MC blank slate. There's a lot of MCs that are blank slates. Or they just don't say anything.
those ones are kind of funny if you think about it. Like all the NPCs are just like, oh, the MC is such a sweetheart, and the MC has
It's
not
like,
spoken a
he
single
had
word
nothing.
throughout the story.
He's so relatable.
MC dot dot dot.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, that's so me. Yeah, because they didn't say anything, so you can't project a character onto it. Never subscribe to projecting myself onto the character. I like to watch characters interact, and play slates almost always have no agency during the actual story. Yeah. I would say, as a good example of that, not everyone's gonna get this, but the Persona 3 game versus the Persona 3 movies. Whereas in the game, obviously the MC is entirely silent, but in the movies they gave him like a personality. He'll talk at least more than he does in the game, and it actually makes sense why he does what he does, instead of him just being kind of like more pushed into it in the game, where in the movie he's like actually. Well, of course I was going to mention it because you were saying silent protagonists, and the Persona series is full of silent protagonists.
Well, we're not gonna mention about Undertale.
I mean, that too. That works too.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
The second movie, I mean, there's 4 movies, but that's fair. That 4 movies is a lot of movies for one overarching game. It's kind of hard to get like an 80+ hour game into just one movie, so they had to split it up into 4. But they are good movies. That, like, if you don't want to play through Persona 3, which I totally understand with it being kind of outdated, the movies aren't bad at all. But there is also the remake coming out this February, so definitely recommend that whenever it comes out. It already looks so good. How can
It's
I
a Persona movie.
yeah, so Persona 3 had 4 movies. You look like the protag for Persona 3. Yes. Actually, my roommate drew my character here, Blue, with the P3 protag's outfit. So
Hold on, I need to see.
I can pull up the image.
It's too late. I'm already searching it up.
All right.
Oh yeah, it looks just like you. Well, almost, but you know.
Hold on. Let me get. I have to pull up. There it is. Yeah. So my roommate that I had for 2 years in college, he drew me with the MC's outfit. It's pretty good. The dude is like actually
is
pretty
really
good.
good, yeah.
He's actually a pretty good artist, but he doesn't draw a lot. I guess he's not that interested in art, even though he has skills for it, for sure. But oh,
I know, right? Some people are like gods at art, but then they're just like, oh, well, I don't really like to draw. I
Yeah.
just draw whenever. And I'm just like, why?
you would be great, but you know, if they don't like it, don't need to force them into it.
Yeah, that's true.
Gotta get these just right. So. What if there was a movie about Undertale?
I think like there was one like orchestra mix on YouTube, and everyone's just like, oh, this would be like the perfect soundtrack to start off the Undertale movie. But then, you know, yeah, it'd be quite interesting to see how someone would do it.
What if like the
But it's
entire thing
definitely-
was like CG? I mean, I guess that's what
well,
what it would be. It'd be a Zootopia
Right.
kind of like a situation.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not going to expect them to render like an actual human skeleton to like represent
You don't want
Papyrus and
them. You don't want them to totally
right.
do like what they're doing with the FNAF movie, getting the Jim Henson costume shop and everything.
Oh man, the FNAF movie is like, wait, is it out yet?
No, not yet.
No, not yet. Okay. Well, I think I saw the trailers. I honestly couldn't like take it seriously because they decided to give the animatronics like red eyes.
Yeah, that is everyone's biggest complaint too.
Yeah. Oh my god, why would you do that? It's like I don't even know. It's kind of like those like okay, how do we make a character scary? Oh, I know. We'll give them evil red eyes, like you know what the toddlers think about.
Mm-hmm. Golden makes a good point. It is a little too rooted in video game mechanics, and like, would they do? They'd probably do true pacifist route if they made the movie.
Yeah, it's not like they're gonna do the genocide route, but then again,
That'd be cool.
I
It
don't.
could be like,
It'd be-
you know how like there's like some animes that have like a special episode or something, and it's like, what if this happened or something? Like, what if they did that?
What if they split?
Oh, get
Oh
outta here.
no, it's spam text.
Get out of here.
Can you imagine if some greedy company decided, okay, I know, how about we split the movie into three? So like they released like Undertale, but then it's actually three movies. So you know, viewers have to like choose which movie they want to watch.
Oh my gosh.
How to make money because they know that the gamers will like watch all three.
Get out of here. Yeah. I hate that I can't fucking with the. There you go. Here we go. Found it.
Oh yay! You finally deleted it. Nice.
Ugh. It used to be simple. I would just right click on their name and then I can ban them, but now it's a little more in depth. Thank you, Twitch.
Yeah, unfortunately, you did it too late. Now, I've installed whatever the spam bot wants me to install.
That's your problem.
No.
Big ass shoes. Video game movie about the witness. Just 1.5 hours of someone going around an island solving mazes. Don't know that game.
You know, speaking about video game movies, have you ever like sat down to watch like the entire Mortal Kombat cutscene?
No. Have you?
Well, I have, yeah. I was surprised because like I was going on YouTube and then like they were like, okay, Mortal Kombat 11 all cutscenes, and it was like fucking 3 hours long. Which is like, wow, okay. And but then they released the DLC and all the cutscenes there also lasted 3 hours, and I'm like,
Oh my
what? 6 hour movie, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much video games now are also just movies with all the cutscenes that get put in them.
It's a movie, but you get to play it.
Yeah. It's an experience.
Yeah.
Sora looks so doofy.
But you're nailing him pretty well.
Thank you. I am using a reference, but yeah.
Well,
Not,
so
not trying
does
not trying to
everyone
copy
else.
it. That's true, yeah. Wish I could say this is all from memory from I have played every game in the series, minus the mobile games. Okay, the mobile games I'm not gonna get into if I do end up getting into the lore because the mobile games have such back lore. It really is just kind of its own thing.
This mobile games? What?
Yeah, there's a mobile game. There was a web browser game that got turned into a mobile game, quote unquote game, when really it's just kind of like all the cutscenes from the web browser game. And then the new mobile game is like a weird turn-based RPG, which is obviously not Kingdom Hearts, which is very action RPG. But I probably won't get into much
Okay.
because they're just so back into the lore. Mobile games actually contain vital info required for KH3. It's only like some
Wow,
of
we got
it.
a free.
It's all contained in another thing anyways. Like Missing Link has some stuff in it that is like it's just like why Xehanort's evil or stuff like that, and it gives us some really back lore on some other characters, but does that back lore really matter in the entire term of everything? Not really. It's just there for fun and for the diehard fans. If you're trying to get a general overview, you only really need to like lightly mention the mobile games, like everything with like the 5 masters, Lushu, the chest, and the Book of Destiny. I think it was called. I don't remember what it was called. That's pretty much all you need to explain with the mobile game. That's
You say
it.
that as if there's like you say that like as if there's like very little to explain there, but
That is
you
very
know.
little because the mobile game, well, the mobile game that was a web browser game at one point, you got to make your own Keyblade user, explain time travel and nature of the darkness, the Master of Masters, the chest, and Cherethes. I mean, Cherethes is kind of a thing. The Master of Masters, yeah, him too. The chest, which I already said, and the nature of the darkness. I mean, it's just darkness. And time travel. Time travel kind of gets explained in Dream Drop. Kinda. Gets explained in other places. And even so, that is also explained in, like, was it Unchained that's on 2.8? Fuck. This is how crazy the KH lore gets. It's stupid. You have, like, ugh. Anyways. It's important, but, like, if you're giving a general overview of the game, it's not, like, you need to go super in detail. That's what I'm trying to make. Obviously, it is important because it does give relatable stuff, but it's not, like, absolutely must know for sure.
Oh, I see. So it's like one of those kind of like, it has impact, but like not that much or something like that.
Yeah, it's there, but you don't need to know everything. So that's why I'm probably not going to go over much of it whenever I get around to that. But that's also depending on whenever Fast gets here, because I have had to... I did explain all of KH lore at one point, and it took me about, like, 2 hours of just straight explaining everything with, like, graphs and all that, which I'll have to go into graphs
With
about...
graphs.
Yes, I
Oh
had to
my
use
God.
graphs. Because just also like people will get confused like what is 1.5, what's 2.5, what's 2.8, why is there even all those are just remakes, or not remakes but more ports to modern consoles. Yeah. So if you hear a point 0.5 or 0.8, that's talking about the report collections of games. Ugh. Got a lot of explaining to do ahead of me whenever Fast gets here, or if they get here. They said they'd be here late. Jay's also drawing something in the corner there. What do you got, Jay? Aww. Little guy. I guess I should also ask, how have you been, Jay? Got nothing? Been busy? Been busy working? Hey, I mean, that's something. Getting the money. I've been going back and forth between some jobs. Tuesday, I went in for an interview at a place around here, and they said they were gonna send me an email and wanted me to follow up and come back on Wednesday, which was yesterday or 2 days ago. I didn't get an email. I was like, well, maybe I'll get one Wednesday. Didn't get one Wednesday. I was like, well, maybe I'll get one on Thursday. Didn't get one on Thursday. And while I was waiting on Tuesday, while I was waiting on Wednesday, I got another email from a different place I'd applied to saying that they want me to continue with the application process. So I was like, great, now I got 2 places that are trying to get me. So I responded to them on Wednesday. I didn't hear back. Actually, was it Wednesday that they... I think it was Wednesday. Yeah, it was Wednesday that I responded back. And I didn't hear back from them until this morning. So all of Thursday I didn't hear anything. And they wanted me to fill out a questionnaire. So I did that this morning. And I've still yet to hear back from the place I went in for an interview from.
Oh. Well,
I messaged them this morning as well, but they haven't
Yeah.
messaged me back yet. So I don't know.
yeah, I think you can still go for like both. You just gotta not make it obvious, I suppose.
Right. Like, definitely do that. Mm-hmm. Like,
Job goes.
I've like most places I've applied to, they usually just don't say anything back, which is fine. I've gotten used to that. It's different whenever you ask me to come in for an interview, make it seem like everything was fine, and then just not message me back. It's a little different.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately that happens so much in society. It's like freaking annoying.
Yeah. It was weird. It was very weird.
Yeah.
Maybe it's karma. Because
How,
when I
but how could it be karma?
Oh, hey, Fast. Okay, so it's probably karma because in high school, I wanted to get a job during one of the summers. I was very hesitant at the same time of really wanting to get one. So I went in for an interview at a place called TJ Chumps, which is like a kind of like sports bar around here. I went in, did the interview and everything, and I eventually didn't hear anything back, but also I'm pretty sure I got a call from them and didn't pick up because I was in the middle of something, and I felt so bad to do that I just didn't call back at all.
Oh my god.
That was
Ghosted
that
them.
was a huge mistake, because that was really, really bad. I felt bad. Oh, speaking of calls, I'm getting a call right now. Let's see if it's anything. Cool, they hung up. I don't know who it was.
Oh,
Random number.
They got intimidated by your presence.
I guess. Anyways, Fast, now that you're here,
Oh, he's gonna do the Kingdom Hearts one.
we get to start.
Kingdom Hearts lore time.
Yes.
Kill me.
So I drew a very nice Sora here, who is our main protagonist.
Alright.
Alright,
Oh,
so
he's like some boy on his summer vacation or something, I think.
yeah, pretty much. They never really talk about school in the KH series. But what I'm gonna have to do is we're gonna have to do some graphs here. So
Okay.
we start off with
Go ahead,
KH
brother.
KH1, alright? We start off with the PS2 game that was made all the way back in, I believe, 2003, 2004. One of those years. Or it could have been
Okay.
2002. I don't remember exactly. It was
I don't
early,
think that
early
matters,
2000.
but okay.
Yes. So we start off in KH1 with Sora, who is on the beach with his two friends, Riku and Kairi. There are other kids on the beach, but don't worry, they don't really matter.
Okay.
So we have Riku, who has long gray hair, and he's like super cool. Thinks he's the hot shit. And then you have Kairi, who is pretty much the love interest, somewhat. And they're all like kids. They're all like under. Tidus and Waka are there too. There's one other girl there, Sophie, I believe is her name, but they don't matter. They're just there because Final Fantasy characters. This is around the time when Kingdom Hearts was a new IP, so Square was like, we'll put some Final Fantasy characters in there to try and help out the series. So you got Riku, Sora, and Kairi, who are all on this island that are called the Destiny Islands. And that is an important area in the entire series. But we start there. Try to get some more detail on Kairi, because she's supposed to be a very pretty girl, and as you can tell, very pretty indeed. And we start off on the Destiny
The
Islands.
fucking Timmy face.
Yeah, so we started with Sora, Riku, and Kairi, who are a trio. Sora and Riku and Kairi are trying to get a boat ready to just go off on an adventure. Whenever Sora is getting materials, a hooded man comes up to Sora and basically tells him a few things. I don't remember exactly what he tells him, but it's not all that important, because soon after, the island starts getting raided by these little creatures called Heartless, who are just like little guys. They like little scrimblos,
They're
pretty
little
much.
guys. They don't do anything wrong except, I don't know.
Except they
probably
try
like
to
the bad
attack.
guys.
They try to attack Sora. Riku, who isn't afraid of the darkness, gets sucked up by the darkness that the Heartless are like dropping down from. It's like this huge just ball of darkness and bad that's over the Destiny Islands. And Sora awakens to the Keyblade, which you probably have seen all over the place. I'll try and
it's
draw
like
it.
it's
draw
a
it.
sword that's actually a giant key.
Yeah, it's a Keyblade. I'm gonna draw it very poorly,
It's like this or some shit.
but close enough. Yeah, we've got Kairi falling inside. Oh, that's true. So during I was getting actually that hadn't happened yet, because Sora fights his way through the Heartless to go back to where he saw the masked man, and Kairi's there. And
It's Kairi.
Kairi falls into Sora and just fades away. We don't
What do you
really-
mean he falls into Sora?
Kairi falls into Sora and fades away.
How do you fall into a person?
Yes. Fast. There's just gonna be things you're gonna have to accept here. I'm not mincing words or anything. That is just what happens. Literally, Kairi gets like there's like a bunch of wind. She gets pushed into Sora and then fades away whenever Sora tries to catch her. and then Sora has his first big fight, where he fights a big Heartless called a Darkseid. Sora loses no matter if you win the fight or not, and is sucked into the darkness and finds himself in a place called Traverse Town, which is kind of a hub, but kind of not. It's basically the first world, but you'll come back to it a few times. Traverse Town is basically a safe haven for any world that gets sucked in by the darkness, because that is the big thing that's going on in the KH world. Darkness is overtaking lots of worlds, and Heartless are wreaking havoc on tons and tons of worlds. And Sora finds out that Destiny Islands isn't the only world out there. And turns out there's tons of Disney worlds out there. So while he's in Traverse Town, he meets up with a few different Final Fantasy characters. Leon from Final Fantasy... no, not 7. It's like 8. I think Final Fantasy 8.
I don't know Final Fantasy characters, so you don't have to tell
That's okay.
me.
So he meets Squall and gets his ass handed to him. Or if you beat Squall, it's also pretty good too. Bless you. And they tell Sora that basically all the stuff that's happening. All the worlds are getting engulfed by darkness, and Heartless are wreaking havoc everywhere. So,
what are the Heartless exactly?
Great question, because in Traverse Town, we see a guy get murdered and turned into a Heartless. A Heartless is born whenever
it's like
someone
a zombie?
dies. Kind of. There are
So it's a zombie.
okay, so whenever a person dies in KH, two things happen. Your body gets turned into a nobody. Your body gets turned into a nobody, and your heart gets turned into a heartless.
Wait, the heart get turned into a Heartless?
Yes.
Not your body?
Yes. It makes no sense. The heartless are the ones with hearts. The nobodies are the ones with bodies. Perfect writing. So.
Yes, that makes total sense.
So.
Thanks, KH.
Yeah, and your hearts are kind of like souls. Basically, if someone talks about a heart in Kingdom Hearts, it means your soul. And then you kind of have like.
Wait, perfect joke. Hold on.
Yeah. Trying to draw the like normal.
There we go. That's the shit.
Yeah. So nobodies aren't really relevant in KH1. They're relevant later though. So besides from one point in KH1, but we'll get to that. So while Sora is going through Traverse Town and beating up all the Heartless, he stumbles upon Donald and Goofy, who you know from Disney, of course. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Turns out King Mickey.
Do Heartless just look like spiders, or are you just drawing spiders because it's cute?
Heartless come in many forms. This is basically the basic Heartless, like what you fight at the beginning of the game. I don't remember exactly what they're called.
Both of these, which I'm pretty sure are Heartless, both of them look like spiders.
They look kind of like spiders, I guess. Golded probably remembers what they're actually called, but I don't. I just call them a Heartless. They're called a name. I don't remember. So we stumble upon Donald and Goofy, and we have our first boss fight, and Donald and Goofy help us out. Turns out King Mickey, who was the king of Disney Castle in a different world, I don't know really, he's not like the king of like all the worlds, he's just kind of the king of the castle. So,
Okay.
I don't know.
So like Ralsei.
I guess kind of. So King Mickey's gone missing, and it's up to Donald and Goofy to figure out where he went. Kind of. They're let me rephrase. Shadows. That's what it's called. Yeah. Shadows. So these basic Heartless, they're called Shadows. But Heartless come in many different forms. Like it can be anything, pretty much. Mickey left a letter for Donald and Goofy to seek out the Keyblade wielder, and they found Sora, who was the wielder of the Keyblade, in Traverse Town. So now it's up to Sora, Donald, and Goofy to go through all of the Disney worlds in the game and seal the keyholes that are in each world. A keyhole is basically how you keep the darkness from devouring that world. It basically locks the world from the darkness. That's the best way to describe it. Each world
alright.
has their keyhole in different places. Sometimes it makes sense, sometimes not. It's kind of up in the air.
Okay.
So that's what you pretty much do. You use a gummy ship, which is just like a ship that you can do whatever. You can make it your own, and you as Sora go through all of the worlds. There's a lot of them, and if it sounds like I'm skipping over them, that's because nothing really majorly happens in them. That is a thing.
So like they're time wasters?
Kind of, but I mean they're good time wasters. They are fun, like to play, but if you're looking for story in the Disney worlds, it's very minimal to. It's either minimal to not anything at all. At least in KH1. In the other ones, there's a little
It's
more.
minimal to non-existent.
Yeah, usually their stories, the stories of each Disney world, are encapsulated inside that Disney world and don't really go outside of the overall overarching KH story.
Alright.
Yes, Goldude is saying that there is some scenes of Riku. So Riku got captured by the darkness, and really he got captured by Maleficent, who is one of the major antagonists of KH1. Maleficent being from...
Wait, who's Riku? Who's Riku?
Riku is one of Sora's friends that was on Destiny Islands.
Okay.
This is Riku, and this is Kairi. Kairi
Alright.
jumped into Sora and disappeared. We don't know where she went. And then Riku got engulfed by the darkness. So it turns out Riku, they put bugs in him. That is true, Jay. They did. We get to that later. That's a different game. Kairi, we don't know where Kairi is, and Riku is now being manipulated by Maleficent, who is one of the major antagonists. So Maleficent is kind of orchestrating the Heartless to take over the worlds because she just wants ultimate power. And the Disney villains have also been kidnapping various Disney princesses for their pure hearts. Because...
Oh dear.
In order to reach what is called Kingdom Hearts, they need 7, I believe 7. They need 7 pure hearts, and Disney princesses
Fucking
have
Chaos
pure
Emerald
hearts.
bullshit.
Yeah, I believe it's 7. Yeah, attaining heaven, pretty much. So Kingdom Hearts is just this place that has tons of power. We never see inside of Kingdom Hearts. It's kind of weird. Kingdom Hearts is always talked about, but we never actually see it much.
So
and it takes on
Kingdom
different
Hearts?
forms too. It's
Oh,
more of a
okay.
euphemism for just infinite power. So
Alright.
so it's basically
I feel like
yeah.
in this series it's gonna be like you have a question and the answer is fuck you, moving on.
Yeah. That happens a lot.
Alright.
So
Okay.
we eventually get through all of the Disney worlds. You find journals scattered around. Yes. So through the worlds, you find journal entries by a guy named Ansem. We'll get to him later. So eventually
Ants?
Ansem, Ansem. Eventually we get
Ansem.
to Ansem. Yes. So we get to Ansem. He's just kind of a guy. He's a smart guy. All we know is that he was researching Heartless. That is what we gather from the
He
journals.
probably has glasses then.
I don't. No, he doesn't.
He doesn't?
He doesn't actually.
Nerd character doesn't have glasses?
No,
What the fuck is
he's
this game?
he's got really big. He's got like spiky hair. Kind of like this. Because spiky hair is a thing with the KH series. Anyways, so we get through all the worlds, picking up journals from Ansem, trying to piece together what they are. It doesn't really matter. Eventually we get to Hollow Bastion, which is another KH-specific world. Hollow Bastion is also an important place, much like Destiny Islands. I guess I should... So we got... DI for Destiny Islands.
Destiny Islands.
And then we have HB for Hollow Bastion.
Okay.
So Hollow Bastion is where Maleficent is basically headed, where she took over and is now keeping all these princesses. So we confront her, kind of. We try to, but Riku's there to stop us, and Riku takes the Keyblade from Sora. How exactly he does this, we don't really know. He just kind of had that ability to just take the Keyblade from Sora.
You just
and
pickpockets him.
Yeah, pretty much. So Sora goes for a decent amount of the Hollow Bastion world with only a wooden sword and Beast from Beauty and the Beast by his side, because Beast is trying to get back Beauty that was kidnapped.
Don't they have actual names?
Beast and Beauty? No, those are their names. Pretty sure. Or at least
No,
that's
her
what
name was Belle.
Or it's Belle, yeah, sorry. Beast, though, he's just called Beast. Unless you want to say his, like, human form, which is... Yeah. So we go through Hollow Bastion. Eventually... Also, Donald and Goofy went with Riku because Riku now has the Keyblade. So they're like, well, we gotta follow the Keyblade wielder. Anyways, so we get the Keyblade back because we're super strong and cool and all awesome. And also because Goofy, like, somehow... instant transmission blocks a shot from Riku. That Riku tried to kill us, but Goofy is like, no! And then he uses his shield to block the shot. And he's like, I know I'm supposed to follow the Keyblade wielder, but Sora's my friend. And Sora gets the Keyblade back because my friends are my power. Sora literally says, my friends are my power. It's great. So then you fight Riku, and then you go through the rest of Hollow Bastion until you eventually fight Riku again. But this is a different Riku. This is Ansem Riku. Turns out, Ansem is a guy that's just kind of evil. So...
Wait, what?
Yeah. So, Ansem had been possessing Riku, or at least now he was possessing Riku. Riku was kind of working on his own, but Ansem was in the background, and he possesses Riku so that you have to now fight Ansem Riku. So you got Riku that's like evil now. I mean, Riku was never really on your side, but like now he's like super buff and powerful because he now has Ansem inside of him.
Wait, wasn't Riku like your friend?
Riku at one point was our friend, but Maleficent tricked Riku into thinking that Sora had forgotten us, or had forgotten him, and now Riku is like mad at Sora because Maleficent tricked him pretty much. And it was also a way to try and get Kairi back. Because Maleficent's like, I know where Kairi is, but you have to do my bidding for me. And Riku was like, okay, fine, I'll do that. But now Riku is like super buff because he got possessed by Ansem, who was just kind of there in the shadows.
He has the Keyblade.
He has a Keyblade now. He doesn't have the Keyblade. We figure out that there's more Keyblades than just the Keyblade. So now Riku has like a different kind of Keyblade. It's like, it looks like a wing, but it's like a demon wing. Looks kind of like this. It's a horrible drawing, but yeah, he uses that to fight Sora, and we eventually get Ansem outside of Riku. And
This
Ansem,
is like the fucking...
yeah.
The fucking Agony Remnant bullshit, where like, there's Remnant, but there's also Agony, which is also Remnant, but different.
It's getting close to that. So, after we defeat Riku, Ansem Riku specifically, Ansem goes out of Riku's body and goes someplace else that we'll go to later. But for now, a very important story beat is about to happen. we learn that Kairi isn't actually dead or anywhere because we see her body, but she isn't waking up. Her soul is not in her heart is not in her body. Turns out,
I'm assuming her heart is in Sora or something.
yes, you are correct. Kairi's
Okay, so
heart
she just like possessed her best friend.
kind
Alright.
of. You can
That
possess.
is like the most normal thing to happen
you
so
can
far, I
you
think.
can both possess a heart, but you can also hide in a heart. You can just live in it. Your heart can
Wait,
just be
she's
inside of
living
another
in
heart.
Sora's heart?
Yes. She was
Heart
living.
in a heart?
Kairi was just living inside of Sora's heart throughout the entirety of KH1 up to this point. Sora learns this and decides the best way to get Kairi out is to kill himself.
Not even a knock knock, hey Kairi, can you get
come
out,
out?
please?
No.
Go back to your body.
Nope. Nope. The only way at this point, even though we see later that he didn't have to do that, he just did. Sora decides to stab himself with the Keyblade and kill himself to get Kairi's heart outside of his heart and go back to her body, while he himself turns into both a nobody and a heartless. But we don't see the nobody. We don't know where the nobody went, at least for now. And we turn into a heartless Sora, who just takes the form of a shadow, one of these little like creatures up here. So Kairi and Donald and Goofy are trying to make their way out of Hollow Bastion now, where we, as a little shadow Sora, hobble our way down to Riku and yeah, down to not Riku, down to Kairi, Donald and Goofy. And we make our way to Kairi, who, and this, I want to say, is never explained. It's been years. It's never truly explained how Kairi can do this. But Kairi just turns Sora's Heartless back into Sora. Because she believed enough. She literally has the power of a protagonist to bend the story to her will so that Sora is now back to being Sora. Even though the actual way to get someone back to how they were is you need to destroy both their nobody and their heartless, but Kairi just skipped that part. I can't more.
Okay.
So now we're in Hollow Bastion, where with Kairi and Donald and Goofy, and we're back playing as Sora. So we then fight Maleficent, I think, or maybe we fought Maleficent before. I don't remember exactly. It doesn't matter the exact order. But we fight Maleficent. She's not completely dead. She's just off doing her own thing. She basically gets away. And Hollow Bastion is more or less full of Heartless now, so we get the hell out of there. We go back to Traverse Town, and we gain the ability to go to a place called the End of the World, which is funny because it's a world in and of itself. It's not the end of the world. It's the end of the universe, pretty much, but whatever. We're going to call it the end of the world. It's not that important because it's only in KH1. And Madi, I'm sorry you had to leave.
Yeah, it's okay. I just didn't. I can't follow it, but it's okay. It's alright.
Okay. So, is that the Grimace Shake? I like it.
Yes.
So we go to the End of the World, where
My
Ansem from before went to. Ansem went off to the End of the World because he was like, screw you, whatever. I'm going to follow in Maleficent's footsteps, and now I control all the Heartless. So we go over to Ansem.
Wait, who?
Ansem. Do you remember that? Ansem was the one who controlled Riku's body and
Yeah.
and is the guy that
Yeah,
we were
he
getting
decided
these
to follow Maleficent's
footsteps
footsteps?
because now he controls all of the Heartless. Or either that,
Okay.
or it was him controlling the Heartless from the beginning, and Maleficent was just trying to put him up front, something like that, blah, blah,
Okay. I think I'm following.
blah. So, we confront Ansem in the end of the world, and he turns into a big old boat and reveals that he was a Heartless the entire time. He's just a really, really, really strong Heartless. With a stand as well. he has a JoJo stand, pretty much. It's great.
He turns into a boat.
He turns into a
What
boat,
kind of boat?
like a big warship boat. He's like at the top of the boat. He's at the top of the boat, and he's like part of the boat. He also has a well. That's okay. So we also fight Ansem a few times before he turns into a boat, but whatever. I'm skipping over some details to try and get through this semi-quickly. And we end up killing Ansem, who was right next to Kingdom Hearts. He was kind of protecting it. And so whenever we kill him, we try and seal Kingdom Hearts, that way Noah can have the power. Problem is, Kingdom Hearts can only be sealed from both the inside and outside. It can't be sealed from only just one side. So, Riku shows up, along with King Mickey. They kind of just appear on the inside of Kingdom Hearts, and they're both like, we need to seal Kingdom Hearts, or King Mickey's like, seal the door! And we see Mickey without a shirt on. That will be semi-important later. Mickey,
It's
yes.
Mickey. He's always without a shirt.
But that'll be important later, and I'll get to that. So Riku and Mickey seal Kingdom Hearts from the inside, while Sora, Goofy, and Donald seal Kingdom Hearts from the outside, leaving Riku and Mickey to be inside Kingdom Hearts and us to attempt to be with Kairi, but Kairi gets split off from us, and we don't know where exactly she went. She went off somewhere that Sora wasn't, and yeah. Now, the final cutscene in Kingdom Hearts 1 is Sora, Donald, and Goofy are just kind of walking along this, like, just like a walkway. I'll try and draw it. There you got Sora. And then you got Donald. with his hat, yeah. And then you got Goofy.
I think he also had a hat.
Yeah, he also has a hat too. So they're just walking along a path because it's Sora, Donald, and Goofy. It's always in that order. It's always called SDG. It's just how it is. And they see Pluto. You know, Pluto being Mickey's dog.
Yeah, I know who Pluto is.
And he just kind of he has a letter in his mouth, and they're like, "What is that?" And then he just runs off. And they're like, "Well, guess that's another adventure." And then that's KH1. They run off into the sunset. We don't know where Kairi or Riku or King Mickey really are, because it ties in to the GBA game Chain of Memories. If you liked KH1, guess what? You're playing through it again.
What?
Twice.
Wait. What's the other thing? Gee, what?
The GBA game, Game Boy Advance, is Chain of Memories. Chain of Memories is a direct sequel to KH1.
Okay.
So we're gonna go over here. This is Chain of Memories, or COM. Most people will call it Recom because there was a remake on the PS2. Most people will call Recom because Recom is just the better way to play it. It was a remake on PS2 that basically gave it a bunch of 3D models and made it look a lot brighter, changed up gameplay stuff, added a few things here and there as well. So I'll be
Overall
going over.
improvement?
Yeah, overall improvement. Basically, the same game, just added more stuff, made it look better, and it was on PS2 instead of a handheld. And Recom is also the version that gets remade later on for the re-releases. Oh, and also KH1 also did get remade as KH1 Final Mix, and this is a common thing that happens with the main KH games. Basically,
Final mixes.
final mixes, yes. So added a bunch of stuff, changed a bunch of stuff. But like usually what is like the major thing that gets added is more or less a a preview for the next game or a teaser. In terms of, or sometimes it's just like a fight that's a teaser for the next game. Usually you fight like a boss or whatever. In KH1 FM's case, we fight a hooded guy with lightsabers, who we later find out is a character in 2. But first, we got to talk about Recom, because it is important. Even though some people may say it's not incredibly important, it kind of is important. So it immediately follows up KH1, where Sora, Donald.
I see Cece has joined.
Yeah, we're in the middle of talking about all this. Cece, you can draw some KH doodles as well. So Recom.
Yeah, that'll be a huge help.
Recom has Sora, Donald, and Goofy. All I don't know. Goofy.
Of course.
All following Pluto into this big old castle called Castle Oblivion. Is big old castle. We don't really know much about Castle Oblivion, at least when the game starts. We learn later what exactly it is, but Castle Oblivion is just this pure white place that Pluto goes into. So of course we follow, and we meet our first adversary of Castle Oblivion, which we'll be meeting a few. Is just some guy in a hood, which I believe he later reveals himself as Axel, who has big red spiky hair, and he's like, heh, we're so cool, we're, so neat, whatever, and he throws Sora a card, because in Castle Oblivion, everything is cards. This is a weird mixture of card-based gameplay with the action RPG gameplay that we had in KH1. So all of your actions are cards in
This sounds like the one Paper Mario game.
kind of Sticker Star.
I was thinking the other one.
Sticker Star, Color Splash.
Yeah, Color Splash. Yeah, that one.
They work in the same way, I believe, where your actions are
Okay.
finite, kind of. Although in Recom's case,
I've heard that it's not very good.
yeah, in Recom's case, they're not quite finite. You can reload your cards. It just takes a little bit of time, and the game tries really hard to make sure you never run out of cards. Like there was a run where you can have you increase the max over time in the game, but the max you can have in your deck is like 99 or something. But the minimum you can have is just one card, and that has to be an attack card. You can have different spell cards or character cards that'll do different things, but you need to have at least one attack card, and that can be your whole deck. There was a run that a guy did where that was his entire, that was all he could do, was just one attack. And he had to reload his card every single time. It took him it took him months to beat Recom with just that one card, but he eventually did do it, and I'm getting more into the mechanics than really the story. So we continue into Castle Oblivion, reliving KH1. every world that we go to is a world that's in KH1, mostly, but we'll get to that. So we go through Traverse Town, we go through Alice in Wonderland, we go through Olympus Coliseum and more, Winnie the Pooh even, and in between all of these worlds, Sora starts forgetting things, and so do Donald and Goofy.
What kind of things?
Like their adventure. To know is to forget.
Like the first game?
Yes. They start forgetting stuff from the first game. They start forgetting their adventures. And they don't really know...
This really is like Amori.
Yeah, they don't really know how they... or for like what reason they're doing things, blah blah blah. Stuff starts happening. Except one thing is making its way into Sora's memory. Kairi. Kairi is a big deal because Sora's memory of her is getting replaced with this other character named Naminé, who looks somewhat similar to Kairi, but has blonde hair instead of kind of yellowish hair. Naminé, yes, that is how it's pronounced. So
wait, she has blonde instead of yellow hair?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So Kairi has red hair, but Naminé has blonde hair. So they look somewhat similar, and that is a reason we'll get to later. So Sora's memories of Kairi are getting replaced with this other girl named Naminé, where every instance of Kairi is now every instance of Naminé. And as we continue on in this castle...
Is Naminé a real person?
That is an answer I can't give quite yet. So as we keep going to this castle, Sora is being conflicted because we're being introduced to a new organization and the new villains. Organization 13. Absolutely amazing.
The Center for Chaos Containment.
Organization 13, which I believe that is 13. Yes, that is 13. Organization 13, which this character here, Axel, is a part of. He also has red hair. He has big, spiky red hair. Organization 13. Is it only 2? It's only 2. No. 10, 11, 12. So I?
No, that's 13. That's 13.
Okay. Organization 13. Yes.
The X is 10.
11,
and you
12,
want
13.
3.
Okay. I wasn't sure. So we have Axel, along with a few other characters. One of them being Larxene, who is has blonde hair, and she basically between each world is more or less taunting Sora and Donald and Goofy, but mostly just Sora. This is mostly Sora based, while Donald and Goofy are just there, pretty much. They were kind of dragged along in.
I'm just happy to be there.
Yeah, pretty much. Larxene, yes. Along with Larxene and Axel, we also see Riku again. But if you remember how like Riku kind of looked different whenever he was being possessed by Ansem.
Didn't he get locked in the Kingdom Hearts, like the other side?
Yes, you are correct.
How did he get out?
Hold on. I know you want answers, but I can't give them yet. We gotta go through this normally. So this is I know it's just so stupid you get to laugh at it. So this is the Riku that we saw whenever we fought him whenever he was being controlled by Ansem. He looked a little different. He was buffer. He had like a different torso on. It was like more buff. And we're like, Riku, what's gotten into you?
Give him red eyes.
Sure, that works too. So this is not just Dark Riku. Hey, what's up? We're explaining Cage lore. This is not just Dark Riku. No, this is Riku Replica.
This fucking replica.
So there is now 3 different Rikus. There's normal Riku, there's Dark Riku, which is Riku possessed by Ansem, and now there's Riku Replica, who is a replica
Wasn't
of
there
Riku.
like a heartless Riku at one point, or was that a different character?
No, Heartless Riku is Dark Riku, who is being, controlled by Ansem. Because Ansem was a Heartless.
No, because like I kind of remember last time when I explained the FNAF lore, you kind of mentioned a character having like 4 versions of
Yes,
himself.
that is Riku. I was mentioning Riku.
Yeah.
There's another version of Riku
Yeah.
we're gonna get to later. there's
Yeah, but it's like from the past or something.
Oh no, that's also I was saying that means I was talking about Xehanort then. Xehanort also has many different forms of himself. But so does Riku.
Yeah, you
but
said like normal form, heartless form,
nobody form and
past
past
from
form of
Yeah.
of Xehanort, which we'll get to. Xehanort is a whole nother thing, who is not really even a thing yet in the story, kind of. He is and isn't, but we'll get to that. We're getting too far ahead. So Riku Replica, who is a replica of Riku during his time being controlled by Ansem. He's a replica because Organization 13, which are these 2 characters and some more that we'll meet later, they're experimenting with this thing called replicas, which are basically bodies with artificial hearts. And so Riku Replica, along with Axel, Larxene, and a few other organization members, are fighting Sora in between these worlds that he's going to. Each world he loses a memory, and it's overtaken by Naminé. Does all that make sense? Oh yeah.
Wait, why is why are his memories being changed to Namine?
Because Naminé is a character that is being held by Organization 13 in Castle Oblivion.
Okay.
Basically, Organization 13 wants Sora to forget Kairi by using Naminé, because it's to their advantage.
Why do they want
we'll
her to? Why do they want him to forget Kairi?
get to that later. I know.
What the fuck is this? Every question I ask, the answer is either there is no answer or we'll get to it later.
Yes, it's either there's no answer, or it's answered later. So, also Riku Replica is angry at Sora because Riku Replica wants to rescue Kairi. He is being taught by the organization that if he defeats Sora, then that'll rescue Kairi, more or less. I think there's a little more to it, but that's pretty much it. Basically, he's being controlled by the organization to try and get Sora to be mad and like kind of kill him, kind of not. Kind of kill him, kind of not. Complex Astrolore going on. Oh god, yes, it only gets
Put him
worse.
in a coma?
Yeah, kind of not. So eventually we get through all of the worlds that we went through during KH1, but then we go through a world that we didn't go through in KH1,
Okay.
and it's called Twilight Town, which is another world that we'll be going back to, and we should keep in the database. So
Twilight Town sounds like a horrible, horrible crossover between Twilight and Lavender Town.
not quite. But so we go into Twilight Town while we're still in Castle Oblivion, by the way. Castle Oblivion just basically has like memories but put out before us. That's how Castle Oblivion kind of works. So we go through Twilight Town, and at the end we meet this guy Vexen, who is a scientist, and he's the scientist for the organization, and
What's this guy's main color?
he's like gray, I think. His hair is like a grayish. It's like a lighter gray, I guess. But it's seen with Repku where it shows up as this memento, and the sword shows up the same. Yeah. Also, there's
His name was
Vexen, Vexen. Tell me, do you see a pattern with the names of Organization 13?
All of them end with an N.
Not quite.
In.
No. Try again. What do these three names have in common? Also, there's an E. What do these three names have in common?
The X?
Yes. That will be explained later as well.
Oh god, they like the new change to Twitter.
Yeah, that was a big thing. Whenever Twitter got changed to X, all of Kingdom Hearts Twitter went crazy because X is a big thing with Kingdom Hearts. So Vexen is in Twilight Town, and we fight him as Sora, but Axel shows up and is like, "Sorry, your usefulness has, grown out of itself." Whatever that term really is. Basically, you've outlived your usefulness. And Axel straight up kills Vexen. Like, actually kills. And we're like, what? Yeah, so Vexen's dead.
Bye, dude.
Larxene also, I believe, gets killed. I don't know.
Yeah, what
I
is-
think. Oh yeah, no.
What is Larxen's deal? Like, you
Larxene.
mentioned them once,
Yeah.
and never again.
So Larxene, Sora kills Larxene. So she's
Oh,
dead
okay.
as well. So also everyone
Okay.
everyone here is part of Organization 13. Axel, Larxene, and Vexen, or at least were part of Organization 13. Axel doesn't die. He is the only survivor of the group that goes to Castle Oblivion. So Axel is alive,
Okay.
but we realize that Axel said something about outliving his usefulness. Axel isn't talking
Yeah.
about the organization as a whole. He's talking about a coup that's happening within the organization.
God.
So now we have Marluxia. Marxulia. Marluxia.
Marluxia?
Is that? Wait. Sorry. Marluxia. I spelled that wrong. There you go. So now we have Marluxia, who has pink hair, but is a guy.
Think.
It
Okay.
messes up everyone. So this is Marluxia. Marluxia
I need
is the
I
head
need
of
the main colors.
the main color. Yeah, that's okay. To keep everything color coded. So Marluxia is the head of this coup that's happening here in Castle Oblivion. He is the one
Okay.
that is controlling everyone in Castle Oblivion, all the organization members that are in Castle Oblivion, which isn't all organization members. Only a few of them got put into Castle Oblivion. They were... Marluxia basically told them, like, hey, we're going to try and deal with Sora ourselves instead of doing what our actual boss wants us to do. So we find Marluxia, and we go through the final world that's Castle Oblivion, which is just Castle Oblivion itself, which is kind of funny to think about. And then we basically kill Marluxia.
Okay.
So,
I have a question.
Yes.
You never told me if Namine is a real person or not.
Oh, right. So Namine is a real person, and we save
Oh.
her from Marluxia, who was using her... So it turns out Namine is the person that was making Sora forget, along with Donald and Goofy. Namine is a witch, and she has special powers that allow her to make people forget, as long as they go through Castle Oblivion, I guess. Castle Oblivion is like a vessel for it, and she had the power to do it. So, yeah. So she was able to erase Sora's... Well, she was able to get rid of Sora's memories and create herself inside of Sora's memories so that Sora forgot Kairi and remembered her instead.
Why does she want that?
Because not only because the organization told her to do this, but do you know how whenever you die, a Heartless and a Nobody get made?
Yeah.
Namine is Kairi's Nobody.
Shut the fuck up.
No, that's it. That's true. And I guess I didn't say the biggest thing about Organization 13. Everyone in Organization 13 are also nobodies. They're just really strong nobodies.
Wait, I thought we like revived Kairi at the end of the first game.
Yes, but the thing is, Kairi and
she
Sora.
got Grimace shaked.
Yeah.
Her soul went in
into
Sora.
Sora.
Hiyomori'd himself so that
But because
so that Kairi would come back to life.
Yes, because he Amori'd himself, Kairi's heart went back to her body, but her heart still died, in a sense. So her nobody was created.
Wait, if her heart is dead, is her body the nobody or
no,
her?
Her heart is back to her normal body. Because so it's especially weird because her body and her heart were disconnected, but nobody was created. Because her heart got put into Sora, her actual body was just kind of there. And during KH1, Riku had her body while Sora had Kairi's heart. And so Sora seppuku'd himself, which created Kairi's nobody, but also put Kairi's heart back into her body. The explanation is because she is pure of heart. So she was able to go back to her body with no problems, but her nobody was still created.
But isn't the nobody the body?
Correct. So there's technically two Kairi bodies.
So it just cloned itself?
Yes. Yeah. 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 Just gotta accept it.
You can really hear me putting my two brain cells to try to comprehend anything.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, so we fight Marluxia and we kill him. He's dead. Larxene's dead.
It has to be the Danganronpa.
Oh yeah, go ahead. And Vexen is also dead.
Vexen. Yeah, we killed Vexen earlier.
Axel killed Vexen. We basically like bullied him down, but then Axel showed up and was like, boop, and then he basically set Vexen on fire. Well, I say basically, but that is what he did. He set Vexen on fire and killed him, while we killed Larxene and Marluxia, and Axel got away. So we saved Naminé, and now Naminé's purpose is to oversee Sora, because Sora's memories are now just a jumbled mess.
What does overseeing Sora mean in this context?
So, in Castle Oblivion, there is a big ol' egg. And it is a chamber.
Do we try it?
It is a chamber that Sora will be spending some time in to get his memories back in order.
Okay.
So
Naminé's just gonna be there.
Naminé's just gonna be there to make sure.
Die?
Yeah, Naminé's gonna be there to make sure that nothing bad happens to Sora.
Alright.
Naminé.
Wait, why is Naminé's hair blonde if Kairi's is?
Yeah. See.
Did she dye her hair?
No. So this was kind of the experimental phase with nobodies. We had already established in KH1 that basically your body would turn into a Heartless, but it wasn't entirely a thing. Nobodies weren't really a thing in KH1 until Recom. So while what happens is with your body, your nobody becomes, if you're really strong-willed, basically if the plot says you can, your nobody body turns into yourself. It looks like you. But because this was kind of before that concept had been made, Naminé doesn't really look exactly like Kairi. You just kind of have to accept it. It's a good way to distinguish them anyways. But at the end of Recom, Sora goes into this egg, and that's how his memories get put back into him, all that. There is one tiny detail I want to say. So during KH1, we also had Jiminy Cricket following us, who kept a book of all of that happened in KH1. So there's a little guy that was with Sora the entire time, and he was also with us in Recom. And Jiminy Cricket tried looking at the book to figure out, what was going on, why they were not remembering everything. But the book was blank besides a few words that Namine had put there herself. Most of them are cryptic, but the one to remember is Namine put in the book, "Remember to thank Namine." That is the one that is really relevant.
She just put her fucking watermark there. Like...
Yeah, pretty much. So she put her watermark in the book while the rest of it was blank, so pretty much the records of KH1 were taken away. That will be important later.
Hello, book
Yep.
that's supposed to give me the answers. Can you give me the answers, please?
No.
You open the book and all it says, written by Domine.
Yep. Nothing written by Namine. So, while I would like to say that is all Recom has, there's a B-side. With Riku. So, you know how there was Riku Replica? Well, Riku,
Yeah.
the actual Riku, shows up in Recom. And it's kind of important because it has to do with King Mickey and 2 other organization members that show up. So, Riku was, after KH1, he was sealed inside of Kingdom Hearts. But
Yeah?
not really.
What does not really mean? We locked him in there so
Whenever
we could
you
steal Kingdom Hearts.
Whenever you start the B-side to Recom, Riku's just kind of floating in the ether. He's just around, and he hears a voice telling him, "Hey, Riku, do you want to get out of the ether?" And Riku's like, "Sure." Sure, why not? And he ends up in the basement of Castle Oblivion. And Ansem so this is Ansem also taunting Riku. So Ansem is talking to Riku in the ether, and Ansem puts Riku from the ether into the basement of Castle Oblivion because he can just kind of do that.
Okay.
So, did you like the worlds in KH1? Because guess what? You're playing through them again! Riku goes through all of the worlds from
Is that like the
KH1.
third time?
Yes, this is now the 3rd time you go through all of the worlds in KH1. I say all the worlds, but there is one world that is only stayed in KH1. That's Deep Jungle. Basically, that's only like surface area. Tarzan, it's the Tarzan world, but Tarzan was never really owned by Disney, so they just got the rights to use Tarzan in the first game, and then it's never really said either they couldn't or they didn't want to get the rights to use Tarzan again in other times. Shitty copyright reasons, pretty much, I guess, yeah. So Deep Jungle is the only world in KH1 that never is in any other worlds. It is only in KH1. But that's not really super important to the story. It's just a little side bit. So Riku goes through all the worlds, and during his time, he meets up with Riku Replica, who he fights, kind of. KH lore is deeper than I thought. It gets worse. It gets worse. And we find 2 more organization members. I'm trying to remember their names. I think one of them is Zexion, who is like his main thing is he uses a book to attack, and he's a little wimpy baby. Even the Mariana Trench. He's a little wimpy baby. We got
What's his main color?
Zexion. He also has gray hair, but it's not as light as Vexen's, so it's like a darker gray. Yeah, darker gray. And then we have, I believe it's Lexaeus. Lexius or Lexaeus? Lexaeus, I think. I say blue hair? Is it blue? It's kind of blue, but gray works too. Doesn't matter.
Wait, who has blue hair?
Zexion, I see it as blue. I see it as gray, but Goldude says he sees it as blue. It's up to Lexaeus.
Hold on, I'll look it up. Zexion.
Yeah, okay, I did spell it right.
Kingdom Hearts 2. That's fucking blue, you lying piece of shit.
Alright, we'll make it blue then. Sorry.
That's some blue ass fucking hair.
Alright, and then Riku also sees Lexaeus, who is a big guy. He's got a chin. Yeah. he uses a big old sword. So Riku kills both.
Oh, I thought they were gonna be like important shit.
No, not really. They're just also part of the coup that is happening in inside of Organization 13 and Castle Oblivion. So they also both die. Also, Lexaeus has like orange hair. So Riku also, during his time in Recom, is also still with Ansem. Ansem never really totally left Riku's body.
Wait, what?
So you remember Ansem,
Wait,
the
what?
main villain from KH1
Yeah?
that turned into a boat at the end? He never
Yeah,
he never really left Riku's body whenever he was. So Ansem is still kind of inside Riku, and during Riku's.
How did he not technically leave Riku's body?
Because. Anyways, that's a really good Devik down there, Jay. Keep on it. Keep at it.
Wait.
It's a good Devik.
Oh, that's really good, yeah.
Keep at it, Jay. So while in Recom, Riku can use Ansem's darkness to do other things and blah blah blah, and he uses that to kill Lexaeus and Zexion, and also Riku Replica, kind of. Riku Replica, there's some weird stuff. There's like a few scenes in Recom that like Riku Replica gets like bad stuff happens to him. Anyways, so I believe that's pretty much it. So Sora gets put into an egg, and then Riku. There's one more part in Riku's side, which is at the very end. He fights Ansem, so Ansem is kind of out of his body now. Even after fighting Ansem, he's still not entirely gone from Riku's body.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Yeah, so Riku also finds a man named Diz. D-I-Z. And the Z is also capitalized. And Diz basically looks like a mummy. He has a bunch of a bunch of wraps on him.
Diz.
Yeah, this is Diz. He has a big old robe as well. This is Diz. And Diz is like, hey, do you want out of Castle Oblivion? And Riku's like, yeah, I do. And also, oh yeah.
Wait, wasn't that Ansem?
What?
Didn't you say that it was Ansem who talked to Riku in the ether?
Yeah, that's true. But actually, no.
So
you
now
are
this
right.
guy's doing it?
You're right. It is Diz. Diz was the one that got Ansem out, or that got Riku out of the ether. But
But you said it was Ansem.
We'll get to that.
What color is this guy's robe?
Like a red, like a deep red kind of. There's a lot of red-haired characters, or whatever. Diz knows jokes. Yeah, there's a lot. So also Mickey was there. Mickey just kind of willed himself into Castle Oblivion to be by Riku's side. I forgot to mention that, but Mickey was also there. And also Mickey is now no longer shirtless. He has a whole outfit now. That's going to be important later again.
Oh god.
So
I can feel my brain melting already.
So both Riku now having accepted the darkness in him, learns to balance the darkness and light in him. Yes. So Riku, after fighting Ansem, he now has the ability to control the darkness and the light that is inside of him. And him and Diz and Mickey exit out of Castle Oblivion while Sora gets his own egg, and Donald and Goofy have to share some other eggs that are just kind of there in Castle Oblivion so that all their memories can be repaired. Now, that is all of Recom.
Okay.
Now things get a little iffy on the timeline because a game happens overlapping KH1 and Recom before we can get to KH2. And that game is a game called 358 over 2 days. That is the name. Kingdom Hearts.
What?
Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days.
358
Oh, it's
over
I'm doing
2 days.
Yeah, I'm doing it over in the top left, but yeah,
Oh, sorry.
it's okay. So, the reason why it's
Why
called
would
this,
you call your game
No.
this?
the reason why it's called it is because we experience as players 358 days through the eyes of 2 different people. Those 2 people are my personal favorite Kingdom Hearts character, Roxas, who I'm gonna try to do his hair. He has very spiky hair.
Okay.
Is
What
Roxas
color is it?
yellow? It's a blonde.
Blonde. Okay. I'm making him a lighter blonde so I don't confuse him with those other 2 blonde fuckers over there.
As okay. So Roxas and Xion. That is how you pronounce it. Xion.
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 Yeah.
She has black
Yeah.
hair.
She has black hair. Okay. I think we've drawn Xion before, actually.
I have, yeah.
I remember I drew her crying because she was like dead or something.
Yes. So we'll get into what happens with these 2. 358 Days is not as big of a game or as impactful as KH1 or Recom, but it's still somewhat impactful. So 358 actually starts more or less right whenever Sora seppukus himself. That is because Roxas is special. Do you see anything with his name? You alright?
I think my brain is just like, if my brain is a sponge, it's full.
Okay.
It can't take anything anymore.
Okay. So, if you rearrange the letters and get rid of the X in Roxas,
Sora.
spells Sora. Roxas is Sora's nobody. And you'd also be asking,
Why
wait,
does Sora have a nobody?
because he seppuku'd himself. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah. I forgot that
Sora
happened.
seppuku'd himself. So that's another thing that happened from that event. Is it created Roxas. So Roxas
Okay.
was scooped up by the organization because Roxas is the nobody of
Yeah,
Sora.
I can tell because he has an X in his name, and that's like a fucking organization thing.
Yes, it is. And everyone who's in the organization, every nobody that's in the organization has an X in their name. And what I just did with Roxas happens is the same thing with everyone else. Meaning everyone else's name is an anagram of their real world, of their real body name with an X in it.
The fuck is Oni then?
We'll get to her. But Axel, say like for Axel over here, his real name is Lee. I'm trying to remember what Zexion's real name is. Fuck, I can't remember. Well, we'll get to some others anyways. So 358 over 2 days, Roxas is grabbed into the organization, and basically he starts doing dirty work. He's taught by, at first, everyone over here in Recom until Recom happens. So 358 happens more or less right whenever Sora seppukus himself. A little bit after KH1 ends, and then one of my you just made a big stockpile of things to talk about later. We didn't catch up. We're gonna catch up much later. So some of the things I'm talking about now aren't even like explained until KH3, and we still have like 6 other games to get through. So yeah,
6?
yeah. I don't know if I'll be able to get through everything in time, but I'm gonna try.
I have no idea what you were talking about anymore.
So we have Roxas and Xion, who are now the 2 new members of Organization 13, technically making it Organization 14, because Xion is number 14, while she's also number I. That's why her name is Xion, number I.
Wait, why does that change it to Organization 14?
Because Organization 13 gets its name from the 13 members, but Xion is the 14th member. Technically,
why would they name their organization based on the number of members? That's stupid.
That's just it. I mean, a lot of this is stupid. Anyways, so Roxas and Xion are the new ones, and Roxas and Xion are taught by the people from Recom until Recom happens, and everyone that dies in Recom we don't see again until much later. How does that happen? We'll get to that.
Remnant.
They're dead? Not exactly.
They get remnant and then they get revived.
Yeah, so the big thing to note, as Goldu says, Roxas develops a really special bond with Axel. So Axel from Recom is back again, and I'm going to draw him again just because these 3 are kind of the trio of this game.
Okay.
They're the trio that drives the force of 350 over 2 days. I'm trying to think of like where exactly to do this. So we're also introduced to everyone in the organization, which is a lot of people, but there's really only a few that are like super important. Obviously, all of them are important, but for now, there's 2 that I'm thinking, or 3 that I'm thinking of that are also important with the organization. The first being Xemnas. He is the leader of Organization 13. Yeah. Oh, with an X. Xemnas with an X. It's not a Z.
Where's the X?
It's not a Z. It's an X. There you go.
Xemnas?
Xemnas. Xemnas. Or, as some people call him, Mansex.
Why is the X pronounced like Z?
Because. Anyways, Xemnas has gray hair, and
what kind of gray?
it's a gray. The way to
But like a light gray down.
it's like in between, I'd say. But the way to distinguish him is he has a darker skin tone than everyone else. Same with Ansem, I should say. Ansem and Xemnas have everyone else is like white. Xemnas and Ansem have darker skin tones. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I won't.
The other one that we're going to be introduced to is Xigbar, who has an eye patch.
Where's the X here?
Xigbar. Not really black
Xigbar.
either. Yeah, it's like Hawaiian. Yeah, Hawaiian is like the best way to put it, I guess. So Xigbar's hair is like half gray, half white. He has like white highlights. Like the little dot I did. It works. So yeah, it's like half gray, half white. So this is Xigbar. This is
Like
Xemnas'
this?
right hand man. Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, he's like one of the strongest people and has more or less as much influence as Xemnas, just underneath him, of course. And then the last one we'll be introduced to is one I don't remember the name of. Oh no, I don't remember. Sykes. We have Sykes, who has bright blue hair.
Bright blue. Why is their head so flat?
Sorry. Trying to draw this fast. He also has a big X. How do I do it? It's like I'll do it like a gray kind of. He has a big X mark all over his face, or like over his like nose, pretty much. So, he's super mad.
Okay.
So these are the main three. There's a few other members, but they're not going to be too important. They mostly just kind of help Roxas and Xion on their
Yeah.
on their
Spare me.
yeah. I'll try and spare you. So, Xemnas is the big bad. Xigbar is there to kind of do stuff, but Sykes is important because Sykes and Axel, whenever they were human and not nobodies, they knew each other and were actually really good friends, and they kind of both got into this organization just by happenstance. So lots of stuff happens in days, but the important things to... Oh no, not Xigbar, sorry, it's Axel and Sykes.
You
That's
fucking lied to me.
No, I said Axel and Sykes. Sorry. These two were friends whenever they were...
Okay.
Yeah, that's my bad. I guess. I thought I said Axel, maybe I said Xigbar, but either way. So they have history and stuff like that. Trying to make them happy. Aw, holding hands.
Yeah. They're happy. Friends.
So a bunch of stuff happens in days, but the important stuff that happens is that Roxas, Axel, and Xion get really, really buddy-buddy. They really, really like each other, but
Yeah.
and Roxas and Xion start.
Axel only has 2 hands. He can't hold hands. with
It's
all
okay.
3 of them.
So Roxas and Xion start questioning the other organization members, asking, how come the other organization members can remember everything whenever they were human, but Roxas and Xion can't?
There.
Axel doesn't really have a good answer for that because he's hiding information from them. Axel doesn't want to tell Roxas.
Thanks, Axel.
Yeah, Axel knows basically everything there is to know about Xion and Roxas, but he doesn't want to tell them because Axel has a conscience, I guess. Roxas doesn't know that he is the nobody of Sora. He just knows that he can wield the Keyblade, and his name is Roxas. He's part of the organization. He knows his friends. He knows how to work. He doesn't know that Sora is him, but he keeps seeing visions of this kid with Sora's looks. And he keeps asking Axel that, he keeps seeing him. And Axel is just like, well, And Xion starts saying the same thing? Xion starts saying that she's seeing Sora too. Axel, yes. So, what's happening is, while Roxas is the nobody of Sora, and technically should and shouldn't exist, because nobodies technically shouldn't exist, but we'll get to that later, kind of. Xion doubly should not exist, because what is happening is Xion was created to harbor the memories from Sora back in Recom. What Naminé was doing was taking those memories from Sora, putting them in a database kind of, and those memories from the database, or just directly from Naminé, go into Xion. So Shion is the memories of Kairi from Sora's memories. She is the manifestation of Kairi from Sora's memories. So Shion is literally a memory. Also, Shion is a replica, yes. So Shion is also a replica, just like how Riku Replica was a thing back in Recom. Shion is
Hold on, I need to make my shitpost drawings, but you're going too
Oh,
fast.
I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. So both Roxas and Shion are technically Sora. Different forms of Sora.
You said Shion's a replica?
She is also a replica, yes.
Okay.
So she has an artificial body, pretty much.
There.
Yeah, okay. So during the events of Days, Shion figures out from the computer that she is a replica and that she is just a form of Sora. So she kind of goes off on her
Okay.
own whenever she shouldn't, and it makes Roxas kind of sad and whatever. And Shion tries to go into Castle Oblivion, but she is stopped by Axel. Roxas tries going to Castle Oblivion and is stopped by Axel. Until eventually Roxas has had enough and is upset because Shion's nowhere to be found. His best friend won't talk to him, Axel. And so Roxas makes a big stink and has a big ol' exit out through the world that never was, which is the world that Organization 13 basically does all their bidding and stuff. That's where their HQ is, which is another world to add to the database. World that never was. I guess we'll call it that. And on his way out, he doesn't kill Sykes, but he fights through Sykes and goes to Twilight Town, which was a key part. If you remember Twilight Town from before, it was an area that we were in before. It's been 2 hours. How are you still only on the third game? There's a lot to explain, Cece. So
Wait, we're on the third game?
We're only on the third game.
Yeah, we're on the third game.
So the entirety of Days also, like, Twilight Town was a big place in Days, and it's where Roxas, Axel, and Shion would go all the time. So Roxas goes there for the final time, not really expecting to see anyone, more just reminiscing, until Shion shows up. And she basically tells Roxas, I'm out of time. The transformation to make me into Sora is pretty much complete. So the whole point of Shion was to make another Sora so that the organization could use this Sora to their advantage. Why they need Sora?
Why do they want the Sora?
We'll get to that in 2. In KH2. But for now, Roxas has to defeat Shion so that the organization can't use her. So Roxas has to have a fight with Shion, and Roxas kills Shion. Sadly, she's dead. And with Shion, all memories of her are erased too. Roxas doesn't remember Shion. Axel doesn't remember Shion. The only person that does remember Shion, I believe, is Xemnas, because he's special. Just got it. So
Special privileges.
Shion dies. But only
That's
kind
so
of.
tragic. What?
Shion gets put back into Sora. You know how Kairi was living inside of Sora's heart? Shion gets to do that too. So now Shion is dead, and her heart? She never really had one to begin with, but Shion's just kind of chilling in Sora's heart now. Is that your face at all this?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's 358 over 2 days. That's all that really was. Kind of. Wait, there was one more thing, sorry. At the very end of 358 over 2 days, we fight Riku, who had gotten older since a whole year had passed from the ending of KH1 to the ending of Days. You know how Shifter melted when his MA ran out and ended up just being in Flowey's mind despite not being meant to exist anymore? Shion's deal is kind of like that. That is true.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
So Roxas fights Riku, but Riku has this blindfold on. And during the fight, Riku takes off the blindfold, and he turns into Ansem. In order to fight back the darkness, Riku had to wear a blindfold. Otherwise, Ansem, the darkness, would take over Riku. But in order to stop Roxas's terror, Riku has to let Ansem take over. Entering server era in 30 minutes.
In 30 minutes.
Okay.
Spent an hour listening to Cage War.
Sorry about that. That's a really adorable doodle, though. And thank you for doodling more stuff as well. Aww. And really, really good, Devik. Thank you,
What does
Jay.
server era mean?
Server era meaning he's going to go work as a server. Sorry, Jay, them, they are a server in a restaurant.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyways. So, Riku, now Ansem, kind of. I'm about to serve cunt, let's go. Riku now looks like Ansem, but that is still Riku. It's just he looks like Ansem because he's letting the darkness overtake him. Just gotta let that sit in. So, Riku defeats Roxas, and with the help of Diz from before, Diz and Riku, kind of Ansem, put Roxas into a simulated Twilight Town. Where Roxas...
Simulated Twilight Town?
Yes. So now we've gotten into simulations. Roxas is put into a simulated Twilight Town where he is living as a normal kid with friends. And that's where KH2 starts.
I think I'm just gonna explode, actually.
To be honest, that's probably a good place to stop anyways, because there is so much already in just these first 3 games that if I went any further, it'd be too much. But yeah, so now Roxas is just kind of like in the simulated Twilight Town. There's also an entire podcast of someone explaining every KH game. Yeah, I believe it.
I believe it too.
There's over 300 episodes. Oh my god.
Seems legit.
Yeah, we'll stop there, because that is a lot. How you feel right now is pretty much how I felt whenever you were doing all the FNAF lore.
I feel like the FNAF lore was easier to comprehend than this.
Maybe it is. I don't know anymore.
Because, like, you just went through, like, 3 games.
And there's still a lot more.
Yeah. But, like, I went through the entire timeline from beginning to end in that one stream.
Probably cover only a single game. There's a lot in KH2. I feel like I could probably get through KH2 and Birth by Sleep And Coda definitely I can get through. Coded is super simple. It has like the least amount of anything, so that is like I could literally explain Coded now if I wanted to. It is that minimal, but I'd rather not. But yeah, so now it's just kind of Roxas that's hooked up to a computer running a simulated Twilight Town.
Why simulations? Why are they doing this? Why is this happening?
I mean, I do know the reason kind of why. So Xion, whenever Xion was defeated by Roxas, all like that was kind of a big thing with Naminé was trying to put Sora's memories back together to redo the wrong she did in Recom, right? But Xion existing was making that hard and not be able to be done. So Roxas had to also kill Xion. So Xion actually met up with Naminé, and Naminé was telling her Xion all of this, and so that's why Xion went to Roxas to get him to kill her. I don't know why she needed exactly Roxas, but it worked out in gameplay, I guess. But anyways. So that's also why Xion had to die, and Roxas is in a simulation because I think that way everything with Roxas can be like monitored and all that, so that Roxas doesn't go off and do something crazy like Xion did, and that Sora can be back to himself. Basically, Roxas is in the simulation because of Sora, because Sora needs to get his memories back. I believe that's it.
Okay.
And those are the first 3 games. Those are the games in KH 1.5, which 1.5 is just all the games.
Excuse me?
Yeah, so KH 1.5 is just all the games ported to modern consoles.
Okay, that's fine.
With one little caveat, because Days was on, because Days was on a DS, was on the Nintendo DS, instead of just remaking how that would work on consoles, they just took all the major cutscenes from the game and turned it into a movie. So some people will say that you shouldn't just watch the Days movie because you don't get everything, and you should instead play the game. But really, you'd be fine watching the movie. If you really want to get all the details and the nitty-gritty, then yeah, play the game. But the game is a little... It's hard for me to want to play it, even though I absolutely love the game. I think it's like... Okay, so the best game in the series is hands down KH2. Like, talk to anyone, KH2 FM, Final Mix, which is like the best version of KH2, is the best one. Because it's literally just the cutscenes. Well, yeah, but that's kind of the point. I don't know. If you're not super into the KH and you're not engulfed in it, just watching the movie is fine. But
okay.
People will say that KH2 is their favorite. I mean, and I agree that KH2 is the best one, but I love Dream Drop, which is a later game, and 358 is probably my like second favorite. Just because I love everything that happens with 358 and Dream Drop Distance. But yeah. You go from time to kill Xion straight to her dropping dead. Absolutely no shot of them approaching. What? For another game, they added little attacking each other cutscenes for those instances. Oh. I think, are you talking about... Oh, okay. I think I think what Cece's talking about is whenever 1.5 was originally released, it was like some cutscenes weren't there, so it just didn't make a whole lot of sense. But they then revamped them for future re-releases of 1.5. But 1.5, just so you know, and don't get confused, it's just a collection of these 3 games put on other consoles, with 358 being turned into a movie instead of being able to be played. I believe that is it. I can't think of anything else without getting into KH2 territory, which we're not going to get into today because that is too much. It's best to put. It is honestly best to put these games in like almost trilogies of pieces. No cutscenes missing. Just that in the game there was meant to be a fight between those cutscenes, and that fight gets skipped, so there's no indication they ever actually fought. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, it's still like, do you really want to be playing through a DS game that's hard to acquire? And even on top of that, the Days has probably one of the stupidest things where enemies aren't knockback. Which is like a huge thing in the other games, and in Days they just didn't put that in. Anyways, so Fast, do you think you can recap what I've said so far?
No, absolutely not.
Could you recap?
I mean, I can try, but it'll become very incomplete and confused.
Just saying that they should have made a better movie. You can give it a shot if you want.
Okay, so KH1, Sora is a kid going on a vacation with his friends Riku and Kairi. Some shit happens and he gets this Keyblade.
Mm-hmm.
There's also like when you die, there's the Heartless and the Nobodies,
Mm-hmm.
but the Nobodies don't exist yet.
Not in KH1, yes.
Yeah. So, Sora meets Goofy and Donald,
Mm-hmm.
and they find out that Mickey from some other timeline is missing. And
Not
they
the
go
timeline,
look.
but yeah, just another world.
They go look for this missing Mickey, and they find that Riku is now working for Maleficent.
Mm-hmm.
Wants to be all powerful and shit, and like he has his own Keyblade.
Mm-hmm.
So he and Sora duke it out. Sora wins because he's the protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
Kairi died at some point, but not really.
Kairi went inside of Sora.
Yeah, she put
Kairi's-
her soul in. She put her soul in Sora's soul.
Sora says the line, "Kairi's inside me." I'm not kidding. Right.
So while they're searching, they also find some nerd guy's journal pages.
Mm-hmm. Ansem.
I don't remember what that was for, but they do that. And at the end, it turns out that Riku is possessed by this other guy, Ansem,
Mm-hmm.
who turns into a boat, and then Sora beats the shit out of him. And then Sora finds Kairi's dead body, realizes that her soul is in his soul, and decides, well, I guess it's time to kill myself. Guess I'll die. And he does that. She comes back to life, supposedly.
Yes.
And he's just fine, I guess.
Yeah.
And he goes with Donald and Goofy. They find Pluto and just fuck off into the sunset.
Yeah, a little off. Ansem is fought last. Sora seppukus himself, which then creates Naminé and Roxas. And then it also does turn Sora into a Heartless. And Sora was...
Oh yeah, I forgot about
It's
that.
okay.
Oh yeah, it turned into a Heartless, and then Kairi just decided that he should become normal again, and he becomes normal again because
Yep.
plot.
Because plot, or because she has a pure heart, quote unquote. It allows Sora to come back. So that's KH1. You did it. Good job.
Yay.
Do you remember Recom?
Recom.
Chain of Memories, yeah.
So Sora, Goofy, and Donald. They like followed Pluto, I think,
Mhm.
to get that letter or whatever.
Mhm.
I think they meet Axel.
Yeah, they go into Castle Oblivion because Pluto went into Castle Oblivion.
Oh yeah, they go into Castle Oblivion. They meet this guy.
Mhm.
I think they fight.
Yeah,
Or
but
something?
they don't
Did they-
kill Axel.
And they don't kill Axel, but they do fight. Axel wins and then fucks off. And then these three start forgetting what happened here.
Mhm.
And Sora's memories of Kairi were getting replaced with Naminé,
Mhm.
who is also Kairi, but like nobody Kairi.
Yes, correct.
And there was also like a bunch of other guys who like did shit for 5 seconds and then weren't important afterwards that I think are gonna be important later down the line, but I already
Mhm.
forgot them.
Mhm. They will be.
Cool.
It was also Riku
And
Replica.
then and there's Riku Replica who we kill,
Yes.
and that's it.
Yep.
And so like they do their shit, they replay the first game again.
Mhm.
And then they find Naminé, who is a real person
Mhm.
who exists. And she's like, sorry, I fucked with your memories. Go in this egg to go back to normal. And they do that.
Mhm.
At the same time, real Riku is just chilling in the void. And Diz
Yes.
just pulls him out of there for kicks.
Mhm.
And Riku just kills a bunch of people.
Mhm.
And that's kind of it.
Yeah, Riku also is able to control the darkness in him, and he leaves Castle Oblivion with Mickey and Diz.
Yeah.
Cece's drawing Zexion. You got the book.
Dies in Castle Oblivion. ABC. That's cute.
Now, what about 358 over 2 days?
There's Roxas and Shion,
Mhm.
who are like the protagonists here.
Mhm.
They are friends with Axel. They're the main trio of the game. And Axel used to be friends with
Sykes.
this blue-haired Sykes.
Yeah, which is not really totally important right now, but during the game, Axel is able to like pull strings with Sykes, because Sykes is also the one that tells Roxas and Shion to do XYZ and do all the stuff that you do in the game, but Axel is able to like be like, hey Sykes, you should like let these two do stuff together, and Sykes is like, what the fuck are you planning? And Axel's like, don't look at me, and Sykes is like, fine.
The only reason I remember this is because I drew them holding hands.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Roxas and Shion both remember Sora and have no idea why.
Mhm.
Um, Xemnas is written with an X for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
Zigbar sounds like a fucking candy bar shaped like a zigzag. I don't know, they did shit, and then it turned out that neither of these two are supposed to exist, but especially Shion.
Yes.
And I think they kill her. And they kill her, but she doesn't actually die. Because I guess no one in this series actually dies.
Yes, this is a series known for people not dying.
Okay, so I literally shouldn't care that someone died then.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Roxas just kind of does his own thing, I think.
Yeah. Roxas kills Shion because Shion asks Roxas to. Because Shion learns that she
Yeah.
is the memory of Kairi from Sora.
Yeah,
Because
he kills her.
yeah. She's not only she has not only learned this from
What?
she's not only learned this from the computer that is at the World That Never Ends, which is like the organization HQ. But Naminé also tells her, like, yeah, you shouldn't exist, Shion. Like, go die or something.
KYS.
Yeah, literally kill yourself because you're making Sora not want to be anything. And Shion's like, okay. And she asks Roxas to kill her. And then Roxas tries to leave the organization and kind of does, but is captured by Riku and Diz. And put into a simulated Twilight Town.
Yeah.
Yeah, STT. That's the synonym for simulated Twilight Town. Life is a mess.
Okay.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have Emily with her brain fried.
Fair. Wasn't her reason for wanting to die that she was killing Roxas by existing? Oh yeah! I forgot about that! So Shion also...
What?
Yeah. So Shion wasn't just taking memories from Roxas. She was... or from Sora, she was also taking memories from Roxas. That was the other reason why. So by existing, she was making Roxas weaker. I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me, Cece. So during the latter half of 358 over 2 days, Roxas starts getting weaker, and at one point he can't even use a Keyblade,
Okay.
because Shion is taking Roxas's ability simply by existing. Shion was absorbing anything that was Sora related into herself so that she could become Sora. Basically, the organization wanted Roxas to be Sora. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit into KH2 because of this. Because the organization is trying to make Kingdom Hearts, but they need hearts to do that. The only way they can get hearts is if Heartless are killed by the Keyblade. Because Roxas has the Keyblade because he's the nobody of Sora, they were trying to use Roxas to farm Heartless to then make Kingdom Hearts. But then they were going to use Shion as kind of like both of them would do the same thing, until Shion started just absorbing Roxas into herself. So they were like, well, let's try and get rid of Roxas so that Shion can survive. But Shion learned that she was killing Roxas, and she got sad about that, so she came to Roxas and was like, you need to kill me. And Roxas does. I forgot about that. Thank you, Cece.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. That was another part of 358 over 2 days, yes.
Okay.
And also Shion's just chilling in Sora's heart. And there's someone else in Sora's heart as well. Remember when I said, you know, a nobody, if they're really strong-willed, takes the form of the person they were? Then why does Roxas not look like Sora? Which we'll get to that later.
Because Sora is a weak-willed fucking coward baby boy.
Axel's incredibly upset about all these decisions. Yeah, Axel is also super upset because he also got really attached to Roxas and Shion. So everything that the organization is doing and Roxas and Shion is doing is making Axel really upset too, and a big baby. and CC's depiction of Axel is super accurate. He was a babysitter to these two, but also loved them, and they had to kill each other and made Axel really sad. Which we'll get to that later in KH2, because Axel also plays a big part in KH2.
I thought you were gonna tell me that Sora is actually the nobody of Sora, and the real Sora is just somewhere doing whatever.
I wish. That'd be cool. But no. Sora is himself. Until he's not.
Okay. What does that? No, don't tell me.
Okay.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, that's those 3 games. We'll get to the others another time. But for now, we still have like an hour of art stream left, so if your brain isn't totally fried, if there's any doodles you want to do, because that's just funny to me. Yeah, Sora just as a Heartless. You play as a Heartless for a little bit of time in KH1. It's the only time we get to play as a Heartless, I think. Oh yeah, 358 also had a multiplayer mode, but that doesn't matter. I think it's the only time that KH ever had a multiplayer mode. So that's neat. Where you could play as any of the organization members, and if you unlocked them, you could also play as Donald, Goofy, Mickey, and Sora. It was pretty neat.
You know, here at the bottom, CC drew like an Among Us Mickey.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to draw an Among Us Goofy, but it looks more like Parappa the Rapper.
It kind of does. It's got the hat though. I can kind of see it. I'll try and draw Donald. Give it a go.
He has that naughty hat.
Yeah, he does. He actually does. Yeah. Although now he just kind of looks like a Mahdi. Gotta give him. I'll just move him up a little. Hold on. He shouldn't be in the ground. Eh. Big old duck bill.
Yeah, he has a shirt, doesn't he? Has like a jacket, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of tall moves. Yeah. Yeah, there's also I have a Kingdom Hearts OC, and so does CC. My Kingdom Hearts OC is called I think Quacksword? Fuck, I have to go back to whenever I drew him on stream. Where is he? Cruxart. I think that's what I named him. Which, if you couldn't tell, that's the same naming scheme as the organization. There he is. Very fitting music. If you describe Pete's zipper pants, oh god, we're gonna get another time. I don't know if you want me to continue next art stream or not, but
We'll see.
it might be best so that the information doesn't leave your brain. But yeah.
Honestly, I can't guarantee that the information will leave my brain by tomorrow.
That's true. There was a lot. Yeah. Little Sora. And just think, this is only 3 games. And yeah, Goldo also said I was leaving out a bunch of details, but those are mostly not really needed. For fights. Aw. Drew a Devik during,
I mean-
and that's what I'll remember. Aw. Yeah.
I mean, it's fair that you would leave out details. When I was explaining the FNAF timeline, I left out details too.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really need to explain that in one of the nights in Sister Location, Michael just sits there in a Springlock suit,
Mhm.
while little Minorinas, they're like little tiny, like they're kind of like dolls. They basically climb into his suit and loosen up the spring locks.
Oh.
And it's like single-handedly the most difficult night in all of the games, as far as I'm aware. Literally, the day after the game was released, that night had to be nerfed because it was just that difficult.
Oh, and it's still difficult?
Yes.
Oh no.
Which is insane because, like, aside from that and the fake ending, the game is, like, super easy.
There's a fake ending? Like you went on a bunch of ignorant ramblings that are barely plot related.
Yeah, there's a fake
mean-
ending where... There's a fake ending where, Michael, like, at the end of Night 5, instead of following Baby's directions to the scooper, he just goes into a different room. And Ennard... You just get, like, the classic FNAF gameplay for a bit with Ennard. And at the end, Michael goes home and Ennard follows him home and eats his butter.
Oh, the exotic butters.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And yeah, I'll admit, I'm not the best at explaining stuff. I wish I was better at storytelling, but when I'm telling a story, I'll sometimes forget, and then like, oh wait, I remember this thing, and it's just like, ugh. And I don't know. I guess
I mean, I'm kind of like that too. I'm better at at explaining things if I'm constantly thinking about them.
Yeah, I mean, I got most of things, but yeah, that's also true. It's not really easy to explain KH, but I gave it a good shot. I might have included a little more details than needed, but getting a clearer picture of things isn't so bad.
Yeah.
JPL, let me explain Metal Gear Solid to you. Oh boy, all I know of Metal Gear Solid is Revengeance, and that's all I need, man. Not really, but
All I know
I'll
is
probably
that one satire video.
one satire video.
Yeah. You're not cringe. You're just fucking racist.
with with Armstrong and Raiden. You're not.
Yeah, that one.
You're not crazy. You're batshit insane. I love Revengeance. It's so good. Definitely recommend. Like
My
Revengeance.
source is that I made it the fuck up.
That's a nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source? My source is I made it the fuck up. Revengeance is one of those games that you don't need to play the other games to understand what's going on, and I love it for that. Revengeance's plot is more or less contained within it. It's actually way less complex than KH plot. I miss him being dumb as much as Revengeance is also dumb. He's so stupid in MGS2. Oh yeah, one cool thing about Metal Gear Solid 2, wasn't it? I think it was Metal Gear Solid 2, where it was all, like, the promotion for Metal Gear Solid 2 was like, yo, look at Snake, you get to play as Snake! And then you play it, and you're mostly playing as Raiden. There are some Snake, like, moments, but you're mostly playing as Raiden. It's either MGS2 or one other one, but yeah. It's great. So, yeah, also these are just some fan characters, which is a part of the mobile/web browser game. Fan characters. That's why I sell even the boxes like Solid Snake returns, then you play him for the first section of the game, and that's basically it. Yeah. I play Snake for like 2 of the main games, yeah. Boom. There's not a thought behind this man's face. Oh yeah, by the way, you said Amori over here. I did beat Amori this week.
Yeah. Oh, did you like it?
My silence is a good silence. But that's my thought. Is it left me shocked. A Neko Arc Heartless? Cece could probably do that. You wanna try that out, Cece? I really do like Amori. I made the mistake last night of going through the wiki though. Don't look through the wiki at like 11 or midnight. There's some stuff there. But Amori, highly recommend. It's just okay, you gotta go, Jay. Alright. See you around.
My Jay.
Bye, Jay. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I think I would replay through Amori if it was shorter. It's not a bad thing that it's like it took me like 20 hours. It's not a bad thing that it's a 20-hour playthrough, but man, is it not really making me want to play through it again. I mean, there is tons of stuff in Amori. Like, there's different endings and whatnot, but it's a little long to make me want to play through it again. Undertale had a really good length, like 6 hours, easy. Like, I can play through that I can play through that one sitting. Amori, not so much. But I still really did love what I played, and
Omori has multiple endings.
it has multiple endings, had different paths as well, and
Yeah,
lots
there's
of.
2 paths.
I'm also just impressed with the amount of detail in that game. Is crazy. Every
Yeah,
almost.
they really, you can see that they spent a lot of time and love and effort into
Oh
it.
yeah, like. If you see something, you're like, is that interactable? It probably is, or at least has some text behind it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy the amount of effort into all the different paths. Every single section of the world is just it's one of the most choose your own adventure games that I've ever seen. More than like a Telltale game. And those are kind of like choose your own adventure, but almost every Telltale game has like one ending, and you can't really change that. But Amori even more so. It's great. I love it. But yeah, I think that's the only thing really kind of holding me back is the length. But that's not a bad thing inherently. It's good 20 hours, really good RPG with good mechanics, and I love it.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of people don't really like replaying the headspace sections when playing Omori.
I can kind of see that. They're like a little lengthy, but they're not that bad. I don't know. Cool, dude. If you need to finish Amori, I definitely recommend doing so. It's great.
Yeah. I only watched a playthrough, I didn't play it myself.
Okay. Also, technically, the console version is superior because it has more content than the PC version. But you could say that about Undertale.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the only thing in Amori that is a console exclusive is a boss rush.
Yeah, there's a boss rush and you can play with Basil against Aubrey, Hero, and Kel.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
That's the only console exclusive thing about it, I think. But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've hit the midpoint yet. Oh yeah, also I was surprised at how long the prologue is. It is a long.
It wasn't that long, was it?
It's like 8 hours. The prologue.
Wait, for real?
It took me like 8 hours to get through. Yeah. all the way until
Wait, what do you count as the
pro-
prologue?
everything until you first wake up. That's
That's
what that's
not that long.
that's what the game says is the prologue. But it took me like 8 hours to get there, I think.
How did it get you 8 hours?
Because you go, it's everything in the intro, and then you go up into the clouds, right? I'm pretty sure. Well, not whenever you first wake up. Sorry, whenever, like, it's the next day.
Oh, okay.
Like the entirety of the
That's
first.
more
Yeah, sorry, that's my fault. You do wake up, but then you only go to the kitchen to microwave a steak.
You go to the kitchen, microwave steak. It's bad.
It's the best
You
part.
throw
You
up.
microwave a fucking steak in the beginning. Oh god. But then the world after that, and then after you beat that world, is the entirety of the prologue, like 8 hours. I played 4.4 hours of the
Okay.
game. KH still ongoing? No, we stopped talking about KH. Now we're talking about Amori.
Yeah.
I wish I could microwave a steak in Kingdom Hearts. That'd be awesome. Amori also a great game. Definitely everyone should play. Kingdom Hearts is I mean, it's pretty readily available now on pretty much every console. And you don't need a super beefy PC if you want to play it on PC either. You just need Epic Game Store to play the KH games. So, Amori? You don't know Amori? Do you at least like know of it? Because it was pretty big back in 2021, right? 2020? Was it 2020 that it came out?
Oh, Mori, yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty big back in like Christmas. It came out like Christmas 2020, pretty sure.
Yeah.
So that it got pretty big, and it was. I mean, yeah. I mean, it was when was the Kickstarter? Like 2013 or something?
Yeah, I heard it took like 6 years for the game to come out.
Spoilers. Oh, well. You can tell CC that I'm done talking about spoilers. We weren't talking too far into the game, like only like the first few hours or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've just been talking about the prologue.
We can stop talking about Awori.
Yeah. We talked about Danganronpa before, but we can't talk about V3 because CC still hasn't played it. V3 is really
Yeah.
good though. Definitely should.
Yeah.
My
the best
favorite-
one, in my opinion.
Hey, you was, wait, I thought you liked 2.
No, it's V3.
Oh, is it Kokichi?
It's not just Kokichi.
Fair.
Shuichi's also good in that game.
Yeah.
Uh,
All characters are good.
I like a lot of the free time events. The ending is good. Everyone says it's bad, but it's good. Really, it's just Kaito and Maki that I don't like about V3. And the thingy in chapter 3.
Right, but whatever. What I should do is get around to playing Your Turn to Die. I did buy that.
Oh, you don't buy that game, it's free.
I mean, I bought it on Steam.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's on Steam. I think it's like you can get like half the game or something, or like some chapters you can get for free, and
No, I'm pretty sure that, like, you can get the whole thing in English for free.
really? What?
Yeah.
Well, I got it on Steam then, I guess.
I don't know if you got it on Steam, then it's possible you got the Japanese version.
Why would that be the Japanese version? And why would they sell it
Because
on the
game
English
was
storefront?
originally in Japan. I don't fucking know. I don't know what's on Steam. I just know that when I went to play the game, I looked it up and I found it for free. And it was like the entire thing, so I played it. I should replay Your Turn to Die at some point because I played it once, found it fun, and promptly forgot everything.
Rockstar is selling pirated copies of their own game. What do you mean, Golden? But Manhunt and lesser known titles of theirs. Hmm. Well, Rockstar will be Rockstar, I guess. Kind of funny to think about, though.
I've been watching Wander Over Yonder.
How's that?
What?
How is that?
It's pretty good. I really like it. I really like Commander Peepers. And I don't like all the abuse he suffers.
Gets abused?
Yeah. By the show. He just keeps getting the short end of the stick. In general. I don't know, I just think it's funny how the show keeps bringing to our attention that Commander Peepers and Sylvia are the same type of guy. They're just on different sides. It's really funny. Just the little eyeball guys in this show are really cute.
Oh, Fast is talking about Wander Over Yonder, a TV show.
Yeah. It's on Disney, I think. It's by Disney. I think it's on Disney Plus.
Cece says that all she knows about the show is that the people ship the hero and villain a lot.
Yeah. There's a good reason for that, is all I'm gonna say.
Okay. You still have to elaborate. Just there's a good reason for it.
I don't know how to elaborate on that. It's just very gay. Like, you can't have the villain imagining himself married to the hero and then not expect people to ship them.
Sounds about right.
Hold on, I made this too big.
Oh, whoops. Kind of. Oh, is that the banjo? She had a horse.
His head is a little bigger. Also, he had a horse. She's not exactly a horse.
Cece's asking what he had?
What do you mean?
I think in terms of villain?
He has a banjo. Oh, the villain?
Didn't hear part of what you said fast.
I'm confused on what Cece's asking.
I don't know. Sorry.
Be more specific, Cece.
You said he had a blank, and yeah, he had a horse. Kinda, it's not a horse though.
She's his best friend. I don't know. I don't really know what she is. She has a very specific design. It does kind of look like a horse, but it's not exactly a horse. What are you drawing, by the way?
You'll know it when I add more detail.
Those eyes are really small.
Not good at trying to do this art style. Maybe I just shouldn't.
I mean, clearly it's a Danganronpa character.
Clearly?
Like, I'm pretty sure it's a Danganronpa.
Clearly?
Yeah. Like, I'm 99% sure it's a Danganronpa character.
Oh boy, here's all the detail.
Oh, it's Basil.
There you go. I just had to do that.
The flower crown.
Yeah. If you're wondering, I said like don't look at the wiki. That's the reason why I was on the wiki in the first place. I wanted to draw Basil last night, but I ended up not doing that. Instead, just looking through the entire wiki and yeah. Some fucking meat. Yeah, he's skinny as hell, but that's just how he is. Devik do be skinny. And there he is too. He is eating a lollipop. I don't think it's gonna do all that much for him though. I just realized both Basil and Omori have the little two like things on their head. The little two tufts of hair.
Things?
Yeah, the little two little two tufts of hair. Oh, not quite
Like that?
not quite like that. Like this I have over here. Like that.
Oh.
I need to draw this right. It's hard.
I think you just put this too high up.
Oh, maybe I did. I also wanted to wait until I did the, I probably should have waited. Yeah, that. That'll work. I would do the eyes, but I don't think I can do circle eyes. I can give it a shot. But it's hard to get just right to where it doesn't look creepy. You see what I mean? It doesn't look that bad.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
I don't know. Hold on, let me try and get the eyebrows just right. Because they have like 2 layers of eyebrows. It looks dead inside.
I mean, that's probably true.
Maybe if I add color to them. Probably not, but maybe. Does that make them better or worse?
That's okay.
It's fine. It's an attempt.
Yeah. I got someone to start watching object shows. I have no idea how I managed to do that, but I did.
Nice.
So like now we've just been like going in a voice chat and binging an entire show at once.
Nice.
And it's really great. And you know, he's only seeing the good shows because they're all handpicked by me.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, they're peer reviewed. But that does also mean that his impression of what an object show is a little skewed. Because, I'm not really the biggest fan of the generic object shows. The ones I like are typically the ones that feature more depression.
Oh. Okay.
More trauma in general. So today we watched one that was like generally more lighthearted. He said that it was a nice like a breath of fresh air. It's like, buddy, that's just more accurate to the generic object show, my man. I am also happy to inform that he can never look at corn the same way ever again.
Go to ask if he likes Puffball, your friend.
We haven't watched BFDI yet. We watched HFJ1. We started with that one. Then we watched Inanimate Insanity seasons 1 and 2. I'm not showing him season 3. He doesn't need to go through that. Then we watched Boto, I think. I don't remember the exact order. Hold on, let me check. Yeah, then we watched Boto. And today we watched Paper Puppets Take 2. I keep forgetting the Nightly Manor exists. Honestly, the best part of these binge sessions is when the YouTube activity thing puts us in timeout, so one of us draws us two in timeout. The timeout corner.
No doing though.
The first time was us in the timeout corner. Then the second time was us two in the waiting room from HFJ1. The third time was us in the little dream world from Boto. And then today we didn't get put in timeout, which is insane. I have no idea when it decides to put you in timeout. Oh, we also watched Love of the Sun. I knew I was forgetting something.
He still has the paper crown.
Sorry, what?
Paper crown. CC's object.
Oh, it's Paper Crown! Like, this guy has known of object shows for like a couple of days, I think, and he already has an object soda. It's
Doesn't
great.
take long.
Yeah.
I wonder what object soda would be. I mean,
What did you say?
CC wonders what her object soda would be.
Oh, I don't know. That's up to you to decide, I think.
It's like deciding your cutie mark.
I mean, not necessarily, because the object doesn't really have to reflect your hobbies necessarily. I mean, mine is a handbag. And it's based off a handbag I used to own. Because I like it and I miss it. And I'm still upset that my mom decided to throw it away.
No. Wouldn't make a Sona anyway. Why not? It could be fun.
AQ, if you had an object Sona, what would it be?
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, I'd kind of want it to be like representative of myself, I guess. But then, like, what would an object that represents myself be? So meant to be proper personalities themselves, so they're too big responsibility. I mean, really?
Responsibility?
I don't know. That's what CC says.
What kind of responsibility?
Don't want to be one of those people that just makes a self-insert and says it's their Sona. But isn't that what a Sona is? A self-insert?
I mean, the
in
way I
ways?
see it, a Sona is basically like a character you use to represent yourself.
Which is also in other terms a self-insert, so kind of the same thing.
They're not exactly the same thing. Self-insert is a bit more different.
Like,
The self-insert doesn't really represent you exactly, it's more like it's based off of you.
I, uh, okay,
I mean, that's just how I see it.
I guess. Okay. Mm. Yeah.
Did someone say something in the chat?
I'm thinking. It's like subtle differences. Sona is the IRL you and what you look and want to be. A self-insert is just someone that has your personality, and then there's an author avatar that is just more of a mouthpiece and something to represent the author or whatever. Which, yeah, makes sense.
I guess it just kind of depends on who you ask.
Yeah. Ugh. I guess I'm one of those people. So he says that some people just put Sona as all of those and just hurts it. But I guess I've always just seen Sona as that, just kind of all of those. But whatever.
That's fair.
People use it, I mean, so interchangeably. It's like, what?
It just depends on who you ask.
Assume that I just generally want to be a cat and I'm sick in the head. Is that why? Who has thought you'd want to be a cat? Like, do I want to be a rabbit? Fuck no. It's just a way to make things something, I don't know. I guess it really could have been anything. Sometimes I don't know. Why wouldn't people assume it?
In other news, Kasane Teto.
What? Oh, Teto. It's adorable.
She's on the canvas.
Nice. She's there. I mean, I feel like it's a more common question to ask, why would people assume you would want to be a cat? Like,
Friend. Yeah.
I don't know. A lot, yeah, but do you know, like, with how many of those that go out with, you know, fursonas and they go out and get fursuits of them, there's also a ton of them that don't. That don't have fursuits and don't want to get fursuits. It's kind of... I guess. Just a
Is that a Keyblade?
trying, yeah. So yes, there's many different keyblades. I guess that was one thing that during the
That
game,
one doesn't look like a key.
they don't have to. I guess that
Why
was
is
one,
it called a Keyblade if it doesn't look like a key?
because that is one thing during, like, at least the main games, is that after you unlock a world, you also unlock a different looking Keyblade that'll have different status effects on it, but it doesn't really mean much. Just that, hey, it's a Keyblade
There's
that
a
looks
fucking
like...
fly on my screen.
Get it out of there. Just wave it off. But yeah, like, with each world that you complete, you just get a Keyblade that looks like, it represents, like, the
I
previous...
think it left.
Okay, it represents, like, the world that you just beat. Like, there's one for Alice in Wonderland, there's one for Olympus Coliseum, there's one for, Halloween Town. Tons of them. And there's also just tons of, like, custom-made ones that people will make, or other things. Like, Cece just made that one.
That's a fucking stop sign.
It could be valid. It could definitely be a valid
Fucking
Keyblade.
hell, man.
Keyblades can just be kind of anything.
Speaking of friend,
Yeah.
I'm gonna draw a friend.
Okay.
You're all familiar with this friend.
Riku gets Keyblade, it's just a regular car key. Yeah. Riku's Keyblade breaks and he gets a car key as a replacement. It's great. Friend. Yeah. He's a little Dan. Nothing. We are almost done with stream.
Oh damn, for real?
Yeah, it's 5:30. Just about.
Oh damn.
Oh, there's a little Koopa. Oh yeah, and then there's these little Final Fantasy things that CC just drew over there called Koopos. They're like the shopkeepers.
Oh. I see.
Mm-hmm. Some people have different Sona for every fandom they're in. They're Moogles. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Moogles is what they're called. I'm thinking of the Koopo coin.
Moogles?
Yeah, Moogles. Sorry, that's what they're called.
Oh.
They're from Final Fantasy. I don't remember which one, but they're from one of them. I was thinking of Koopo coin, which is an item in the third game that lets you not die in exchange for using said Koopo coin. Basically like a fairy in like Legend of Zelda or something. I guess not, CC. Oh, little Clem. First, I think. Why do they have an axe?
Oh, are you looking at my thing?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's Liam.
He just has an axe.
In the last episode, yeah.
Oh.
Tries to kill Larry and shit. And it's very pathetic. Like, actually the most pathetic fight scene I've ever seen in my life.
Aww.
I wish he was more deranged.
Adorable. Little Clem loving the
Oh,
Amogus.
that's a Clem. That's an adorable little Clem. Oh, he'll hate this.
He'll appreciate it, but hate it at the same time. Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah.
That's Clem.
But yeah, like I said, I wish Liam was more deranged. It would have helped his character a lot. What's with object shows and having green characters that are cooler when they're deranged? Like, what's that?
That's not a question for me, it's a question for Golden. She's still here? I don't know.
Gold. Gold dude. Gold dude. Answer me!
Golden doesn't know.
I'm gonna have to open the Twitch stream because I can't really see the chat.
CC also says deranged characters are just cool. Just fair.
They are cool, but like I mean, in terms of characterization, it being deranged actually helps a lot. Especially this guy over here.
DC says, one day I will make an object show too. It will suck ass because I don't know how to do object shows. And Paper Crown will be in it, and he will die.
I mean, technically there's no rules to object shows. Honestly, the fact that you don't actually know any of them could honestly be a good thing because you can add like a fresh perspective on things because like everyone who's we who have all watched object shows, we're kind of like familiar with the formula, so I feel like there is some kind of subconscious like adhering to it on some level. And like the tropes and stuff. But since Cece has no knowledge of anything at all, she would just do whatever the fuck she wants, and it's very much possible she would put something completely original that we haven't seen before. It would be cool as hell. Basically, if you can make a good story, you can make a good object show. That's basically it.
CC says that there's a formula, and it's death games, probably, and that she's gonna put them all in a death game. It's gonna be Danganronpa.
Not death games. The formula isn't death games, the formula is Total Drama Island.
But imagine an object show, but like Danganronpa.
There's apparently a lot of camps like that.
Ah. Same thing.
Which is
Not
like-
really the same thing.
I want to join a fucking Danganronpa object camp. Like, what the fuck? You
Total
can't
Dra-
just tell me they exist
They
and
do.
then not tell me, give me examples. Like, what the fuck?
Characters in Total Drama Island do not die. No one dies. They just get sent off the island. It's Survivor. Total Drama Island is Survivor. Which is,
Yeah.
you know, Survivor was
I mean,
a huge...
object show characters also get eliminated. Typically, they also die as gags,
Oh.
but like,
What if instead of Total Drama Island we do the Kardashians or Osborns or Chrysley Knows Best or something? TC also says killing them is
I
faster
mean-
and easier. You know what? You're right, it is.
I mean, if you wanna be a pioneer in the object show genre, go right ahead.
Ah.
I do think it'd be cool to get more object shows that aren't competitions. Because there aren't really a lot of them. And the most popular one is the Nightly Manor, and the Nightly Manor isn't good. I also think it'd be cool to get more object shows that are in different languages. But I don't know. I don't know what can be done about that.
Well, it's about time to end stream. I'm exhausted, and I'm sure you are too. From listening to all of this. Death game where they get stuck in a haunted house, have to fight their way out, so it's co-op, but most of them die. That could work. That could probably work.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, see? Just write and animate all of that. Easy.
I mean, you don't actually have to animate it, really. You can make it like an animatic.
Yeah, that works too.
Or you can just make it a comic. Some object shows are just made in PowerPoint and they're just like PowerPoint presentations.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like there's a lot of freedom here.
Well, gonna need some voice actors. Give me your voices. I'll do it. That was one of the first things that I... Back whenever I was like 14, 15, I was like, could I do a voice for one of your games, CC? And I think I did, but I don't know if I ever got into the game. That's okay. Well, thank you all for joining. Fast, do you have any final words?
Thank you for having me. I'd love to do more podcasts here.
It's fun.
I don't know what they'd be about, but I'd love to do more podcasts. I like rambling.
Right. It's fun. Yeah, I voiced Rue, one of Cece's characters, but the game is just kind of
Never
on
came out?
hiatus. Just on hiatus right now. Drop Out Pets is kind of in the background. Well, Cece works on probably ones that are easier to do than Drop Out Pets and won't take as much time. And
What if we like all gathered one day on like the canvas and just spent the entire time making an object show, like writing ideas and concepts and stuff?
that'd be interesting, I guess.
Yeah, it'd be a fun bonding experience, I think.
Fun. Maybe. Cece says it'd be fun too, so could try it.
Yeah.
Well, I shall save this canvas. And I now have to put everything on a Google Drive because the Imgur link straight up just broke. So. Yeah.
Too many images, it died.
Yeah. Golden has an idea for an object show.
Is it the one where like I made a character for you, or is it a different one?
The same one, Golden says.
Oh, the same one. Okay. It's a pretty good one, so.
Okay. I'll believe you both. But for now, shall end. So thank you everyone for joining. I kind of wanted to do Jackbox tomorrow, but I don't think I will because everything with my jobs is so up in the air that I don't know if I want to try and commit to something like that. I wasn't even sure if I should commit to art today, but because I didn't get anything this morning, I was like, alright, I probably can. So, yeah.
If you do Jackbox tomorrow, I'll definitely join.
We'll see. Maybe if I can get enough people for tomorrow, and if I don't hear anything back from the two places that are so far ghosting me on giving me a job. So we'll see. But yeah. All right. Thank you everyone, and have a great rest of your have the rest of your night. Bye.
Bye.